third, another 7-point differential. Both teams scored 12 in the fourth. Now, the guy they got to put a better hold on, Ron, is Brandon Karras. He had a double-double against the Eagles, 15 points and 13 rebounds. Kind of a physical kid, likes to get inside and move around quite a bit. They got to watch out for him. Also, Aaron Bynum, 13 points and 8 rebounds. He had a couple of steals as well. And Yanni Wilson had 13 points, 2 trays, and 3 steals. So Karras, Wilson, and Bynum, those are the 3 go-to guys. But Karras has got to get somebody's butt on him for Hobbs. That's the guy that was just in the lane all the time.
Actually, he needs 2 because he is leading the team with 17.1 points per game. He also has 9.1 rebounds per game, and he also has 1.1 blocks. That's not a concern, but the rest is. He definitely needs to get double, triple teamed. He needs to get fresh legs on him as much as possible to slow him down and not get those averages.
I'm going to go back to the anatomy of the butt. That's what they need to put on him. I don't know if the legs are going to help, but the butt is, and that's something that you got to use to your advantage. Although the Hobbs Eagles did get double digits from Pena, as he did 16 points. Abraham Pena with 2 3-pointers in the game, but nobody else in double digits in that contest. Michael Mackey, a quiet game, 8 points and 3 rebounds. Brian Acosta, though, a pretty good job coming off the bench with 6 points, 4 assists, and was perfect on the line, 4 for 4. So got to give a thumbs up to him as he did do a good job. And Junior with some bench work there. Juris Turbiatis finished with 6 points and 3 rebounds for the Eagles in that one. Hobbs was getting destroyed on the boards, though, 34-15 in that game, so more than doubled up by this Organ Mountain team. You got to get a quick step, get your butt on somebody, and get rebounds. That's definitely going to be the difference in this game to try to get back on this team from last week.
Exactly. Just, improve your performance, make better decisions, and definitely get those. Mackey actually had that 8 points. You mentioned that just a moment ago. He had that in the first half of the game. He kind of disappeared in the second half. We're hoping that he'll come back, get his average at least, if not more, and be a part of it. Of course, we also would like to see some of the other players get some of the really good numbers, whether it be rebounds, steals, or just plain old points. You really just want the points because that's how you win the games with points. But you only get those if you get those steals. Because, good offenses are best offense is a great defense.
Ironically, Hobbs did have more steals in that last game, 7-6, but of course the rebounds just weren't there. Eagles shot just 39% from the field. Organ Mountain at 56% in that contest. Hobbs better on the line, though, 71% from the free throw stripe, 62% for Organ Mountain. So that's the numbers on the game before, but of course, brand new game, no scorer on the board as we speak. So it's all open up here for the first round of the holiday tournament. This squad, Organ Mountain, comes in with a 9-1 record. Their only loss was to number 1 Volcano Vista back on December 3rd, 80-63. Before the tournament here today, they did play Silver about less than a week ago. Beat them in a low-scoring game, 47-24. They were actually trailing in the first quarter to a lower division team, 13-6, but they outscored them 18-9 in the second. We're up by 2 at the half, and then went 9-0 in the third, and then 14-2 in the fourth. So they kind of did what this game kind of what happened here at Task Arena. They were behind early and came back, and then they just kind of added to their lead there in the second half. In that game, not a big-time scoring route there for that Organ Mountain team. Brian Gonzalez had 2 3-pointers in the game. Brandon Karras with 8 points and 5 rebounds. Yanni Wilson had 7 points, 1 for 3 in terms of 3 points and 3 steals in the contest. And really what helped out Organ Mountain to get back in that game with 12 steals against Silver. 4 players had 2 steals apiece, so they were playing some pretty good defense. But once again, do records matter? I don't think so. And the Eagles are trying to defend their court here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament.
And you're just talking about steals with the Knights. Yeah, that is Yanni Wilson's bread and butter right there. 2.6 per game is what he does. And, you expect him to see that going on. But Hobbs, of course, is going to do everything they can to try to stop it. They may even incorporate more of a press. As they said, they kind of wanted to step away from that. They're going to do it hit and miss. You might see a little bit of a press starting out to see if they can disrupt this Knights offense and see if they can get the ball and get some fast break points in to boot.
We should mention, too, that Brian Gonzalez, their second leading scorer with 11.5 a game, did not play in the second half against the Hobbs Eagles in that game December 16th. He was out with an ankle injury and sat the whole second half, so that's a big difference. He is starting tonight. Looking at their starting lineup, Gonzalez, as we mentioned, 11.5 a game and averaging 2.7 rebounds. Aiden Pacini is also a starter at 5.5 points a game, and he has 3.1 rebounds a contest. Yane Wilson with 5.6 points a game. Also a starter, Brandon Karras, we mentioned him. He's the top scorer with 16.2 a game and leads in rebounding at 8.7. And a new name that does not have any stats yet added to their roster as a starter tonight, Emmett McDaniel. So we'll have to wait and see what he's going to show to the Hobbs Eagles. Let's look at the Eagles starting lineup. Michael Mackey leading the team with 19 points a game. He's also the leading in assists at 2.6 and also leads in steals at 2.8. So he's a multi-dimensional player. He's definitely going to have more than 8 points probably for the Eagles to contend in this game. Devon Ruiz, one of the guards, or Devon Marquez, 1.3 points a game. He's back in the starting lineup for the Eagles. Abraham Pena, second leading scorer on the team at 15.4. He's on the roster tonight in the starting lineup role. Another starter for the Eagles is Archibald. Now, Archibald has been coming in and off the bench at points. He's also started a few times. Chris Archibald is on the court tonight as a starter, averaging 2.3 rebounds a game. Last but not least, another big man, Jairus Turbiatis. He's averaging 4.4 points a game and is the leading rebounder at 4.8. We should mention, too, that one guy not on the roster tonight that is a very good force in the paint, Omar Argod. Not sure what his situation is, but not on the roster in this game. National Anthem starting here at Tasker. We're back in 90 seconds. Welcome back to the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament here at Tasker Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunner Max with you back at the station tonight. Hobbs and Oregon Mountain in the first round of the tourney. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles have won 39 tournament championships out of the 63 here at Tasker Arena. And, of course, last year they were the victors here as well as they pulled off 3 wins. Beating Piedra Vista 89-34, El Paso Montwood 75-45, a 30-point win in that one, the 55-point win in the first game, and then Cleveland, who got beat by Artesia today in an upset earlier. They beat them last year 77-53 by 24, so some big margins last year. Hobbs Eagles really doing some damaging stuff to the teams they played, but Eagles had some more size and a lot more experience on the team last year, but the Eagles still have some energy with this squad, and that's why they're 5-3 record at this point, ready for this first round game.
Yeah, and they have a lot of energy with the likes of Van Lanningham, who hurt himself the other day, but he is back into it. He's not going to be starting, but he is going to make a difference. Now, Coach said that he is not known as a scorer, but he's definitely a physical player. We already know that. He gets into their play and the mugs of the defense or the offense of the other team. He makes a difference. He also gets the younger kids pumped up too, and that's why he likes Van Lanningham to be able to go out there. And we were expecting him to be out here, even though we knew he got hurt. It was not a high ankle sprain; it was just a normal sprain, and we knew that was not going to hold down Van Lanningham.
These two teams are pretty close in shooting from the field this season. Oregon Mountain at 47%, and your Hobbs Eagles at 45%. Eagles have more steals per game at 9. compared to 7.6 for Oregon Mountain. So hopefully that works to their advantage in this ball game. In terms of free throw shooting for the squads, for the Oregon Mountain squad, they have 72% free throw shooting, and your Hobbs Eagles up to this point are at 63%. So a little bit of an advantage for Volcano Vista, or make that to Oregon Mountain there. Oregon Mountain currently ranking 5th in the Max Preps poll with a 9-1 record. The Hobbs Eagles actually dropped out of the top 10, are now down at number 14 at underneath Carlsbad, who's 13 with that 5-3 record. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but maybe because of the third loss that might have bumped them down a little bit. But I think winning a Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship will get them about probably in the top 10, hopefully.
It's really all about the strength and schedule, and so far they got a weaker strength of schedule than most other teams. That's the reason why they dropped out of the top 10. But if they can do some really good numbers here, win all 3 games, win this tournament as well, yes, you're definitely going to see him back in the top 10, that's for certain.
The only player from last year that had experience in this Hobbs Holiday Tournament, at least a number experience, Michael Mackey. He had 5 in Game 1, 2 points in Game 2, 6 points in Game 3, averaged 4.3 a game. He averaged 2.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 4 steals a game. So he definitely is playing some good defense, not in the starting role last year, but helping out the team to win the Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship. Again, 39 W's in the championships here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament for the Eagles. Again, Oregon Mountain only lost this season, number 1 Volcano Vista. So they definitely have some good wins under their belt, including the Hobbs Eagles back on December 16th. Running down the starters one more time for the Eagles: Michael Mackey, Devon Marquez, Abraham Pena, Chris Archibek, and Jairus Turbiatis. For Oregon Mountain is Brian Gonzalez, Aiden Pacini, Yanni Wilson, Brandon Karras, and a new one on the roster this game, Emmett McDaniel. Hobbs wearing their white uniforms, black trim, gold as well. And for Oregon Mountain, the black uniforms, silver, gray numbers, and white trim.
Just a quick reminder, this has been 20 years in the making. They haven't been here. Oregon Mountain hasn't been in 20 years.
Jumping for your Hobbs Eagles will be Jairus Turbiatis, and for Oregon Mountain, Brandon Karras. Referee's going to delay this just a bit here, and we're ready for the toss. Still waiting for it. Tip into the backcourt for Oregon Mountain. They'll come away with it. And coming across the timeline is Brian Gonzalez. Again, he sat out the second half of the last time these two teams played. Slings it up top for 3 for Aiden Pacini off the back of the rim. Loose on the left block. Ripped down by Jairus Turbiatis for his first rebound for the Eagles. Outlet to the near sideline. Devon Marquez getting triple team pressure. Passes left and gets it back from Mackey. Tries to throw it back to Mackey. Picked off at the half court, and Pacini going to take it to the rack for the first score of the ball game. First Eagle turnover, 2-0 Oregon Mountain. Marquez has it across the timeline, sends it to the right side to Archibek, tries to go back door to the left to Turbiatis down the paint. Ball tipped out by Oregon Mountain. Hobbs basketball right of the rim on the baseline. It will be Marquez to inbound. Hobbs down 2-0 here in the first. Bounce pass, back door, going up strong with 2 hands off the glass, Jairus Turbiatis. First bucket of the game, we're tied at 2-2. The Eagle fans going to take a seat now to get some rest here in the first quarter. Ball comes in the near sideline to Yanni Wilson. To the half-court line to Gonzalez. Tries to throw it back door and barely gets through and connects with his teammate Brandon Karras. Almost got stripped by Marquez in the air, but Karras lays in off the right glass, making it 4-2. Oregon Mountain spinning, bringing pressure. Coming down the left side of the lane. A leader shot off the back of the rim for Pena, no good. Picked up on the right elbow by Archibek. Sends it down to Mackey, right base. Leads and shoots coming down the paint and is off the rim. Rebound by Pacini on the far right sideline. Gets knocked to the floor. Bodied up by Pena, picking up his first personal and the first team foul on the Eagles.
Kind of looked like he just lost his footing, but either way, yes, he went down, and it is still Oregon Mountain ball.
Boy, Mackey put his head down battering ram style, driving it off the baseline that time, and thought he was going to hit the floor himself. Into the front court comes Wilson, top of the circle off the dribble, sends it back deep to Pacini. Pass back to the right wing, driving lane, right side. Wilson throws up a shot on the run, rolls off the rim, no good, gets his own rebound underneath. Fadeaway Jay from the right baseline, 15-footer's no good, and Mackey with the rebound, his first. Stop and go dribble as he takes on Wilson. Down the lane, jump stop, shot from the free throw line off the back of the rim, but a foul from behind. So that will put Mackey on the line for the Eagles as the foul going to be charged to Wilson, his first team foul. A chance for 2 free throws here for Mackey.
One of the players that has improved in his free throws so far this season has been Michael Mackey.
Getting ready for his first one here shooting 76%. Eagles came in at 63 as a team and swishes through his first one. Hobbs now down 1, 4-3 with 6:19 remaining here in the first. Opening round of the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Exclusive coverage on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. Second free throw off the front of the rim. Bounced around and put down on the right block by Archibek. His second rebound to Mackey, right wing. Give and go back to Archibek. Has to save it on the right baseline. Gets it into Turbiatis, left base. Back deep, this reset to Devon Ruiz Marquez. Gives it to the left corner. Behind him now to Pena for three off the side of the rim left, no good. And into the paint to pull it down for Oregon Mountain is Karras, his first. Unloads to Pacini coming across the timeline down the paint. Reverse layup on the windmill on the left side. They're going to call the hold across the timeline. So an early whistle there. He went all the way down the lane, but they're going to call the reach foul from behind by Mackey, his first, second team foul. Boy, Pacini with some speed out there for Oregon Mountain. Inbound to Gonzalez, top of the circle. Backs into his defender Marquez. Flicks it back to Pacini. Sends it to the right wing to Karras, has to come back for it, saves it. Pivoting, tough pressure being put on by Archibek. Touch pass to the right corner to Wilson. And a defense by Devon Marquez at the half court line with the steal. Comes down the lane with a fade shot, can't get it to drop. And we got a whistle on the rebound. That was the first turnover for Oregon Mountain. We're going to see who the foul's against. Looks like it against the Eagles. Did they call that a push foul or not? Yes, they did. That's the second already on Mackey, third team foul. So that's definitely going to be a problem situation as Mackey will have to leave the game in foul trouble already.
Yeah, that is not a good sign.
Braylon Vega, the freshman, checking in for him. Inbound to the near sideline to Wilson. Gives it back deep to Pacini. Stop and go, taking on Pena. Over to left wing to Wilson. Down to the left corner, driving baseline. And fumbling the ball for just a second was McDaniel. To the free throw line to Gonzalez. Kicks it out right wing and back it out as Pacini on the dribble. Underhands it to the right corner to Karras. Down low, but a pickoff by the Eagles by Vega for the second Oregon Mountain turnover. Pass to Marquez in the left wing front court. Double team. His pass deflected. Ripped down by Turbiatis on the left wing. Coming back to get it is Pena left side. Bounce pass down the lane to Turbiatis. Up top to Archibek for three. Out the front of the rim, no good. We got a body foul going on underneath on the rebound. As it was Brian Gonzalez getting plowed by Turbiatis. It looked like two bodies battling, and the Hobbs Eagle fans not liking that call. That's going to be charged at Turbiatis, his first 14 foul, 4-1 foul count in favor of Oregon Mountain. And Coach Shelby Reed's going to have to go to his bench and bring in some subs. Caden Hall seeing his first action. Also on the court for the Eagles, Ethan Van Landingham, who went down with an ankle injury in the last game. Pass to the near sideline to Karras. Throws it back deep to Pacini, coming across to Karras again, to the left corner to Gonzalez. Fakes a three, takes a step forward and puts his head down, rams into Hall. They call the travel first on Gonzalez. He's lucky not to get a charge on that one, Ron.
Absolutely is. He was trying to be very aggressive on that one and instead let his feet do the walking instead of his head.
Clock at 4:37 left first quarter. Oregon Mountain up 4-3 over the Eagles. Inbound to the backcourt to Pena. He'll go one-on-one against Wilson. Slides right off the dribble. Triple team, gets through them all. Throws it back door right baseline to Archibek going up strong. He's ripped as he goes towards the rim. And he'll get a chance for some free throws here. Boy, Pena just sliced through that like hot butter with three defenders at him at the time stripe.
I love the fact they're being aggressive. They're going to the basket. They're getting those fouls as well. They just have to go ahead and follow through and get those free throw shots made.
Archibek yet to shoot free throws, but he's 45% on the season and knocks the first one off the back of the rim, no good. Eagles are 1 of 3 on the charity stripe for 33%. 4-3, Oregon Mountain leading over the Eagles with 4:28 left first quarter. Second shot rolls off the front of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Karras, his second. Outlet near sideline to Pacini. Stop and go against a double team. Cross court, red back court to Karras. Throws it across the timeline to bind him on the right wing. Dribbles the corner, fade away, 18-footer off the side of the rim, no good. In the middle of the paint for the board is Archibek, his third rebound to lead the Eagles. Outlet near side to Pena. He comes across the timeline, tries to underhand it back to Archibek, and it sails out of bounds off to the scores table on the far sideline, out for the second turnover for the Eagles.
Yeah, the pass was just behind him. He was already going forward, Archibek was, and didn't realize it until it was too late. Tried to get the ball, but was unfortunate to get it.
Ethan Coombs will check in, the sophomore coming in for the starter Pacini. Comes across the timeline, picked by Van Landingham, diving on the floor. They able to recover in the hands of Gonzalez. Drives the lane, bounce pass backdoor to Karras. Underneath the hoop, reverse left to right, and puts it off the glass, right side for 2. Karras now with 4 points. Boy, Van Landingham always putting his body on the line.
Exactly. That's exactly what the coach wants him to do as well.
Pena gets stripped at the timeline after a triple team. They throw it up court, and a finger roll on the right side put through for Wilson after the Eagles' 3rd turnover. That's going to cause Coach Reeves to call a timeout. He's not a happy camper. 3:33 remaining first quarter. Oregon Mountain 8, your Hobbs Eagles 3. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Tasker Arena, first round of the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament here at Tasker, the legendary court. 8-3, though, Oregon Mountain leading over the Eagles. What's been the big difference positively for Oregon Mountain so far, Ron?
Well, so far they've been, they've been using the press very well. It has disrupted the Eagles a little bit, just enough to where that they can get the shots in that they want. And Hobbs just needs to come back and do the same thing, press them, and see if they can disrupt their offense as well.
Both teams with 3 turnovers so far. Hobbs is 1 of 4 from the line, 25%. Oregon Mountain yet to shoot a free throw. 2-2-1 full court trap going on for Oregon Mountain. Beating it is Pena across the timeline. Slides through 3 defenders again. Lost the ball in the lane, though. Picked away by Karras for the 4th turnover. Karras throw low to the far sideline to Wilson. Dribbles hard up the middle of the court. Sends it left to Karras. Fires up a 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Ball going to go baseline and tried to be saved by Oregon Mountain as Van Landingham backed away from it in the deep right corner. They're going to say Pacini's foot hit the baseline, and it'll be out of bounds. Back to the Eagles.
Either way, Hobbs ball.
Inbound to Van Landingham. He'll take the dribble up the court on the near sideline from the Taskovich band. Stop and go. Comes down the right side of the lane through 2 defenders. Throws up a shot. Errant off the left side. Rebound to the left block by Caden Hall, who gets bodied. And between 2 defenders that time. First rebound for Hall. That will be a foul on Oregon Mountain against Ethan Coombs, his first, 3rd team foul. Both coaches going to go to their bench. And for the Eagles, it looks like Devon Marquez returns.
Both teams now have 4 fouls each.
And coming in, I believe that is Amron Bynum for Oregon Mountain. Inbound to Devon at the top of the circle. Backs it out to the timeline. Underneath 3 minutes left first quarter. Hobbs down by 5. Dribble around the right wing. He'll back it out to the near sideline, try to get some rotation on the offense. Crossover move. Cross court left with a pass to Vega. He gets pressured hard. He has to flick it back to the timeline to Marquez. Back to the left corner. 3 on the way for Van Landingham off the side of the rim. No good. And pulled down to the paint by Bynum for Oregon Mountain. Gives it back to Pacini. Back to across the timeline to Bynum. Top of the circle. Guarded by Hall. Coming back to get his Pacini at the time stripe to the right wing with a flick over to Coombs. Tough pressure applied by Vega. Backs it out to the timeline. A spin move. They're going to call the hold against Braylon Vega. That's his first 15 foul for the Eagles. Stops the clock at 2:17 remaining here in the first. And Oregon Mountain up 8-3.
Still not a free throw situation just yet. A couple more before they get the bonus for the Oregon Mountain.
Ethan Coombs in the scorer's table on the far sideline. Gets it into the right corner. Spin move for Karras. Fadeaway jumper from 10, no good. Ball's tipped up in the air. We got a rebounding foul. Looks like over the back going to be called against Oregon Mountain. We'll see who they're going to call the chest foul that time. That will be against Amron Bynum, his first 14 foul. Kind of just a tip situation going on there. Both teams getting their fingertips on it. Nobody really pulling down the boards. Inbound to the near side to Marquez. Trap pressure going on, 1-3-1 here for Oregon Mountain. Up the near sideline with the pass to Vega. Who's through pressure all the way to the hoop on a spin move or a scoop shot right side, laying it in for 2. Vega with his first bucket of the game, the freshman on the scoreboard. Or correction, that was Acosta, not Vega.
Yeah, you want to see that action though.
Ball gets thrown out of bounds by Oregon Mountain on the far sideline. Another turnover for them. That's their 4th. And the Eagles down by 3 now, 8-5 with 1:52 left in the first. Inbound to the backcourt to Marquez. He'll take his time now to set up the O. Coming across the timeline with the pass right wing to Caleb Lehman, who just checked in. Underhands it back to Marquez at the timeline. He wants it clear out. Coming left with the dribble. Backs into his defender, which is Gonzalez. Gives it off left side to Vega. Vega tries to drive and gets bodied into for the foul. Morgan Mountain's going to get charged. Brian Gonzalez with his first 15 fouls. So we got even fouls now, Ron, at 5 apiece.
Exactly. It's going back and forth as far as trading off fouls. So far, that is the advantage, Hobbs.
Marquez will get the inbound. Gets around his defender down the lane. Bounce pass back door. Big man getting up for it. Caden Hall as he glances it off the left glass and puts it through. Hall's first bucket. The Eagles now have 4 scores in the ballgame. 8-7. Hobbs down by 1. A 3-shot at the other end. Left wing by Gonzalez, and he puts it through. First tray of the ballgame for either team. 11-7. Hobbs down by 4. Long pass down to Vega, left wing. Up top to Marquez. Drives the middle of the paint. Underhand pass, right block. Fade for Acosta off the back of the iron. Tipped out to Marquez. Fade away from the left elbow of the free throw line and nails the J. Marquez also showing the ref he thought he got fouled on that one. 11-9. A 2-point lead for Oregon Mountain. Bodies flying on the floor now. And we've got the whistle. I'm not sure what they called this, either a jump ball or what the heck it was. The ball was still in play, but the whistle quickly. They're going to call a foul, I believe. Calling the Eagles for a push. That's going to be their 16th foul, one away from the bonus. We just had a bunch of guys diving. I'm not sure who had the advantage there, but Devon Marquez hit with his first.
Apparently nobody had the advantage on that one, but the ref had the advantage in the end with the call.
53 seconds left, first quarter, a 2-point ball game. Hobbs down by the deuce. Inbound deep near the baseline and taking the dribble on the stop and go. Coming across the timeline with it is McDaniel. He finds Gonzalez on the right base, comes down the lane, leans and shoots. They call the charge. Gonzalez throwing a little fit after that, almost got himself a tech. Second on Gonzalez, 16 foul, also the 5th Oregon Mountain turnover.
Yeah, just came in too hot on that one. The Hobbs Eagle was just set there, ready for him, and took one for the team.
Coach Gonzalez trying to calm down Gonzalez a little bit. Brian Gonzalez taking him out of the ball game and get some subs on the court, including Yanni Wilson. Eagles get it to the timeline, coming across to the dribble of Costa. High pass, almost stolen, picked down by Pena. Gives it to the right wing to Vega. Dribbles up top against a double team. One-hand bounce pass right wing to Pena for 3 on the fadeaway off the right rim, and they got the rebounding foul underneath. It looks like they're going to call this one against Aiden Pacini as Coach Gonzalez steps out of the court. Not happy about that one. So they call that on, actually Karras they're saying now. That's his second 17th foul. That'll be a bonus for the Eagles. Referee's going to get this sorted out and will send to the line Brian Acosta. So Brian Acosta getting his first chance for some free throws. Actually the 1-and-1. Costa shooting 80% on the season, the best on the team. He's got 2 points so far. Hobbs right now 1 of 4 for 25%.
With the, looks like the second leading scorer, Gonzalez, out of the court, that's going to help the Hobbs Eagles.
Missed the free throw, rebounding at the free throw line is Bynum, his second. Into the front court, the pass down to the right corner to Karras. Tried to bounce pass it through 2 defenders as Hall was over there on the far sideline. Had some help with the Costa, and they're going to say it went off a Hobbs Eagle foot. Good pressure for the Eagles on the perimeter. They'll inbound on the far side with Oregon Mountain. Yanni Wilson to get it in. Jumping up in the air to try to block the inbound is Lehman. It gets deflected, and the Eagles get the steal in the hands of Pena. 6th Oregon Mountain turnover. Goes backdoor and a layup high in the air by Braylon Vega. He's got his first bucket. It's tied at 11. 10 seconds left in the quarter. First quarter. Driving the free throw line. Shot for Bynum is no good off the rim and out of bounds. Hobbs basketball with 6 seconds. So big momentum shifter as we end into the first quarter.
Exactly, and you know what? You don't have to go for those three-pointers to get back into the game. All you have to do is just chip away like Hobbs has been doing right now. Use a little defense as well, and before you know it, you got a tie game and possibly a lead before the first quarter ends.
Coach Gonzalez puts back his son, Brian Gonzalez, in the game. Eagles have the ball with 5 seconds. Throw across the timeline, left corner. Hall fakes a 3, returns it left way to Pena. Fires a 3 at the buzzer, just barely goes over the rim, out of play. No good for the Eagles, but we are tied at 11. Hobbs versus Oregon Mountain, second time this season. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament at Tasker. Coming back in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. Back live at Task Arena, 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Your Eagles and Organ Mountain, the Knights, tied at 11 to start the second quarter. Eagles' top scorer so far, just 3 points, and we'll get to that in just a minute. A fadeaway from Michael Mackey from 18 on the right side, puts it through. Mackey now with 3 points. First bucket here in the second quarter. Nobody has more than 2 points in the game for the Eagles. Pass long and deep, going to the rack with it, right side, Pacini, and he lost the ball going up, and he comes down with it on the baseline at the other end, and Mackey was right there waiting with him. That will be a turnover for the Knights. That's their 7th of the ball game. Their top scorer with 4, Karras, 3 for Gonzalez, 2 apiece for Pacini and Wilson.
That was an incredible pass by the Knights, by the way.
6 scorers so far for the Eagles. In the front court, driving to the right baseline, but stepping on the line is Acosta. Eagles picking up their 5th turnover. Quick rundown of the points for the Eagles, 2 for Mackey, and the same for Marquez, Vega, Acosta, Turbiatis, and Hall. Eagles have right now 6 players with 2 points apiece. Bounce pass across the timeline to Pacini, right wing. Back deep to Wilson to the timeline. Jab step, guarded by Lehman, comes left, kick it off left wing to McDaniel. We got a hand check foul on the Eagles, it looks like. Pena's going, who me? And unfortunately, he's going to get the foul. That's his second. 17 foul. Both teams in the bonus now. You can tell the referees before the game talked about calling this tight.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, both sides are rather aggressive. They're rather physical. Not as physical as maybe like a Carlsbad, but still, they have their moments where they get too aggressive at times for the referees.
This will be the first free throw attempt for the Knights in the game. Emmett McDaniel is on the line. He has no stats yet, so I think this is his first game of the season. Did not play against the Eagles on the 16th. So it might have been moved up from the JV. First shot is up, bounced around the rim and good. You'll get one more. 1 for 1 are the Organ Mountain Knights. Your Eagles at the free throw line right now are 1 of 5 for 20%.
Maybe he has ice water in his veins.
Second shot is up and good for McDaniel. He's got 2 points now, and we are tied at 13. 7:10 left, second quarter. The winner of this ball game will advance to the semifinal round tomorrow night. And that'll be against Highland, who won by 20 over Ferris, 72-52 earlier.
It wasn't even a close game after the third quarter, basically.
And what about that upset? Artesia defeating Cleveland by 5 earlier at the other side of the bracket, 62-57. They'll play Spring Valley. Eagles going to go down low and going up strong with 2 hands on the right side of the rim for the Eagles. Putting it through is Brian Acosta. He's got 4 points. 15-13, Hobbs by 2, matching their biggest lead in the game. In the front court, stop and go for Wilson, comes around the right wing. He hands it off, gets it back, shot from the right corner, fadeaway 3, no good. Loose on the left block, put back up, and rolling around the rim and good off the 10-footer on the baseline that time. That was Ethan Pack, his first shot of the ball game. We're tied at 15. To the right wing, holding the ball for a second, Devin Marquez trying to get a screen, bounce pass, right side to Acosta in the paint. He tries to go back door to Hall. Ball's loose in the paint, looks like it might have been touched by Organ Mountain. Diving for it in the lane was Ethan Coombs. It should be Hobbs basketball on the right base underneath the hoop.
And it sure is. Yeah, a lot of passes there, just not really keeping your head on a swivel, but they did pretty good as far as getting it back to their possession.
Devin Marquez will inbound on the right baseline for Hobbs. Gets it in left corner, make it the wing to Mackey, drives baseline, 15-footer is on the way, rainbow jumper, nothing but net. The net gets stuck on the rim after that beautiful shot. He's got 5 to lead the Eagles. 17-15, the Eagle 2-point lead. Inbound to Karras on the near side. He'll take on Hall, stop and go. Ball gets loose as Hall gets a piece of it, and we got a timeout. Coach Gonzalez did not like that matchup as Caden Hall played some tough pressure D. 6:06 remaining here in the second. Time into the court. Eagles by 2 over Organ Mountain. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you. Max back at the station. Your Eagles lead by 2, 17-15 over Organ Mountain. Ron, you can see the intensity kind of spurring up for the Hobbs Eagles. Kind of lackluster there midway through the first, but they started coming back hard, and we're starting to see some good one-on-one matchups defensively.
Yeah, and it's not even just about the defense and getting the fast break points. They're also doing it on offense as well. They have adjusted their game. Hopefully they can continue doing so because we've seen streaks on both sides. We're just looking for a Hobbs Eagles team that is going to be consistent, and I think we're starting to see it right now.
Mackey leads with 5 points, 4 for Brian Acosta for the Eagles, 4 for Karras, and 3 for Gonzalez for Organ Mountain. There's a steal on the inbound, at least a partial steal as Demon Marquez was chasing down in the left corner of the backcourt, trying to knock it off Gonzalez's leg, but they're going to say it was off of Marquez. Full court pressure, man-to-man defense for the Eagles. Inbounding left corner, backcourt is Wilson. Does get it in, back deep, driving hard across the timeline. And pivoting is Coombs. His pass almost taken away by Marquez to the free throw line to Gonzalez. Shot off the back of the rim on the J. Karras tries to put back up on the right block. Is fouled, getting his shoulder ripped from behind. Third rebound for Karras to lead the Knights. And a chance for free throws here.
Marquez was going so hard he almost did the splits.
So he's going to get 2. Organ Mountain is 2 for 2 on the line. They're bringing subs in for some reason. That's a 2-shot foul. Oh, wait a second. One of the referees is going to say it was a 1-and-1, a push-off, but Karras was going up with the shot, so I'm not sure. They're trying to discuss this right now. They're going to go ahead and call that a 2. Is it a 1-and-1, I guess? How can it be? Yeah, it's a bonus situation, but
Right.
It looked like a shooting foul there. But Karras does hit the first, so all that discussion doesn't matter. He will get 1 more. So Karras now with 5 points. He's the leading scorer now for Organ Mountain. Trying to tie the game up with a second free throw. 17-16, Hobbs by 1. Second shot is up, and it is good. So 4 for 4 on the line are the Knights. They've tied it at 17. Inbound to Mackey. Take the dribble himself, goes through his legs as he takes on the defensive Coombs down the front court. Stays at the half-court line. No screen coming for him. Dribbles behind his back, top of the circle, spins in the lane, fade away in the middle of the paint, rolls around the rim and good. They left the net up for that full play as Mackey puts it down. He's got 6 of his 7 here in the second. Hobbs by 2. Here comes Wilson across the timeline. 19-17 Eagles. To Gonzalez on the right wing, dumps it down low to Karras, right block. Bounce it back to Gonzalez on the give and go. He leads through 2 defenders and throws up a haphazard shot there. And it looks like they're going to call the body foul, the hit by Jurius Turbiatis. That's going to be his second 18 foul against the Eagles, make it 9. And that'll be looks like a 2-shot foul. They're going to say he was in the shooting motion. First shot is bouncing around the rim and good for Gonzalez. He's got 4 points, and 5 for 5. The Knights are on the line.
Yeah, the 2 people you don't want to see on the line, of course, is Brian Gonzalez as well as Karras.
Second shot good as well. He's 80% on the season and perfect now, 2 for 2. Is Gonzalez with 5 points. Eagles tied with 19 with Organ Mountain. 5:13 remaining in the half. Mackey across the timeline on the stop and go against Coombs. Down the left side of the lane. No, he puts the brakes on. Shot from the left elbow. Gets knocked to the floor. Ball comes off the back of the rim, off the J. And they're going to call the foul. Got hip to the floor that time. They'll call that one against Gonzalez. That's his 3rd personal. 18 foul. You should mention Gonzalez is the second leading scorer on the season at 11.5. It would be nice to get him on the bench in foul trouble.
Exactly. Plus, we got a chance for 3 points since it was in 3-point territory.
Did they call that a 3? It looked like he was just outside the elbow there. We'll have to wait and see on that. Mackey gets his first one. He's 2 for 3 on the line now and leads the team with 8 points, 4 for Acosta. 20-19, Eagles pulling up by 1. I think that was just a 2-shot foul.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say I may be wrong on that one. I was looking more at where he was at when he landed.
Yeah, his butt kind of slid back behind the 3-point line, so that was pretty close to that. Second shot's up and swish. So now it's 9 points for Mackey. 21-19, Eagles by 2, 5 minutes remaining in the second. Ball comes across the timeline to McDaniels. Dribbles up top, slings it right side to Pacini. Kicks it back left wing. Here's McDaniel for 3. Bounces out the front of the rim, no good. Karras between 2 defenders. Goes back up with it. Is bodied hard again by Turbiatis. Again, they're getting him that first step on the rebound. It's costing him. Second rebound. Make that for Karras' 4th rebound. And Turbiatis, I believe, has just picked up his 3rd foul. They did call it on him.
Yeah, Karras is big enough that even if he does try to get the shot and misses, he can still draw the foul and make damage that way.
It's a double bonus now, the 10th foul as he makes the free throw. He's perfect, 3 for 3, and leads the squad with 7 points for Oregon Mountain. Trying to double check to see if they did call that where I thought they did. It looks like they've brought out Turbiatis. I'm not sure they called that on him or not. Second free throw is up and good for Karras. He's got 8 points, 4 for 4 on the line. And again, we're tied up at 21. 3 touchdowns apiece so far, Ron, and feels kind of like a gridiron action going on down there.
Exactly. It's definitely a battle going back and forth. It's just a matter of who wants it more and who's going to be able to outlast who.
Kind of a tough game to start the tournament. 2 tough teams from the state of New Mexico. Mackey up top. Faking a shot at the top of the arc is Pena. He does decide to go up with it on the left elbow and drills it home with the J. Pena with his first bucket of the game. Eagles now with 7 players in the books. It's 23-21. Low-scoring affair, though, with just 45 points on the scoreboard. But a back-and-go affair, like you said. Stop and go in the front court, Wilson. To the right wing. Stop and go again to the right corner. Goes baseline to the rack. Finger roll and scores over the right rim. Wilson with 4. Tied up at 23. Here comes Mackey now. Drives hard across the timeline against Pacini. Gets a screen by Marquez to the left circle. Throws it back to Marquez near the timeline. Correction, that's Pena. Pena gets a screen up top from Archibald. Crossover move, backs out of it. One-hand pass to Marquez to the right baseline. Fumbles it off his knee. It's going out. And Marquez thought the defender touched it last, but nope, it's going to be off of him. So that'll be an Eagles 6th turnover in the ball game.
Yeah, it looked like Marquez was trying to do too much under the basket, or near the basket anyway, trying to get around his defender, and instead he just dribbles the ball out of bounds.
Looks like we got a sub coming in for the Eagles now. As returning to the hardwood is Braylon Vega. He's got 2 points.
I'll make it 3 now.
Also, Brian Acosta with 4 points checks back in, and the one-man wrecking crew, Ethan Van Landingham. 3:53 left, first half, tied at 23. Full court pressure, man-to-man defense for the Eagles. Inbounding on the left baseline is Wilson. Gets it into the right corner to Karras, returns to Wilson back deep, still in the backcourt. Taking the dribble to the far sideline against Van Landingham, crossover. Front court now, waiting for a screen from Bynum. Doesn't use it, drives the left lane, scoop shot, over the rim, no good. And there's Van Landingham with his first rebound, dribbles into the front court. Gets double teamed, gets through both of those defenders, triple team now, ripped out of his hands, pass off to the left wing, 3 on the way for Vega off the back of the rim, long hit off the rim and chased down in transition by Wilson. Goes to the rack on the right side, misses the layup, but he got hammered from behind by Caden Hall.
You know, Van Landingham is actually known as the man of steel now. He's got a pin in his near his collarbone, or because of his collarbone break, they had to pin it.
Coach Gonzalez running up on the court. He thought that should be a clear the lane foul, a hard foul underneath the hoop, but the referee does not signal that. That would be the free throws and the ball back, but they just go with the conventional 2-shot foul here. They'll charge that one to Hall. That'll be his first. And the 11th team foul against Eagles, still a double bonus the rest of this half. Shot for Wilson is up and good. He's 5 points in the ball game. They are still perfect on the line, Ron. 9 for 9 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, and that's always a real bad thing, a burn, when your opponent is perfect on the charity stripe. You know, of course, it should be one of the easiest shots you make because there's nobody in your face.
Wilson's second free throw is up and good. He's got a total now of 6 points. 25-23, Oregon Mountain now in the lead. In the front court is Pena. Crossover move, backs it out to the time stripe, near side. To the left side of the lane. Tries to pass left over to Vega. It's picked off. Going the other way is McDaniel. Double clutch on the right side of the layup and is fouled. And the fans not liking that one, at least the Hobbs Eagle fans. That was the Eagles' 7th turnover. And that will put on the line McDaniel. They call the foul against Brian Acosta. They have him for 2, 12th team foul. And now McDaniel, who's perfect, 2 for 2 on the charity stripe.
Even with the Knights doing so great on the line, even though they just missed that one, they still have 3:07 left in this half to be able to get back in this game and get the lead.
First miss, as you mentioned, McDaniel now 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. They're 10 of 11. And 10 of 12, he missed both of them. Ball gets tipped out of the near sideline. It will be Hobbs basketball, still trailing by 2, 25-23 with 3:05 left, second quarter. Coach Reeves having some words from one of the officials in the backcourt now from the baseline. The Eagles going to get some pressure from Oregon Mountain. The inbound to Mackey. Mackey goes hard. He's going to beat his defender across the time stripe. Coombs puts on the brakes. Kicks it over to the right wing to Acosta. Flips it up top to Hall. Hall comes around the right side of the three-point arc. Hands it off to Pena. Over to left wing to Vega. Back to Pena at the timeline. Again to Vega, left side. Drives baseline. Leads and shoots from the left base. Point-blank range coming in the paint and is fouled. Ball sails out behind the backboard, but he's going to go to the line to shoot two. As that'll be the foul on the Knights, their 9th. And that'll be charged to Pacini, his first.
And Knights try to come in, close that lane off before he got the basket in, where late and ended up fouling.
So Vega will step up for his first opportunity in the game and misses off the back of the rim. Vega came into the contest shooting 33%, was just 1 of 3. Hasn't had a lot of chances to shoot free throws so far.
Well, when you have an opponent that's doing about 95% on the free throw line, you really want to get all your free throws in and make them look pretty too.
Eagles 3 of 8 from the charity stripe. Looks like it might have a violation on Oregon Mountain. All they're going to say was the Eagles, as missing off the back of the rim was Vega, pulled down in the middle of the paint by Karras, his 5th rebound. Across the timeline to the right wing to Bynum. Crossover move on the far sideline. Sends it back to left side to Wilson, to the left wing. Pivoting. After pass to Martinez. Goes back door to Karras, goes up strong with the front of the rim and puts it through. Karras now with 10 points to lead Oregon Mountain. They lead by 4. It's been their biggest lead since the first quarter. Mackey in the front court. Dribbling through his legs, stop and go. Shot from the free throw line, fade away off the back of the rim, actually in front of the rim. He gets bodied to the floor, so he will get free throws out of it. As a hit being thrown at him by Oregon Mountain's Mike Martinez, his first foul, the 10th team foul. Double bonus for the Eagles the last 2:10 of this second quarter. And Michael Mackey on the line. He is 3 of 4 for 75%.
And Hobbs Eagle fans are loving the fact that he is on the line right now.
Eagles 3 of 9 for 33% as a team, and Mackey puts that one through. He's got 10 points to lead the Eagles. The same amount of points that Brandon Karras does for Oregon Mountain to lead their squad.
Penny looking the offense over and trying to adjust the defense.
Mackey has made his last 4 free throws as he nails the second one. The Eagles down by 2, 27-25. Mackey with 11. Pass to the near sideline to Wilson. Cross court and gets it deflected to Bynum. Bynum with the double team. Slings it back to the timeline. Mackey picks it off in stride and goes to the rack with it on the right side layup. Mackey now with 13 points. That's the 8th turnover for Oregon Mountain. Coming down the lane left side is Wilson. Scoop shot. The ball gets stuck between the rim and the backboard. Looked like he ran over the Hobbs Eagle defender that time. Caden Hall. Ref didn't call. Now that was Mackey. Ball got stuck, so they go to the arrow, and that will be a possession, it looks like, for Oregon Mountain. Oregon Mountain started running back to the other end to play defense. They didn't see the arrow, but it's going to be their ball underneath their hoop on the right baseline. Tied up at 27 here at Tasker Arena. 1:46 left, second quarter. Bounce pass in the left corner. Fadeaway 3 for Pacini is good. That is the second tray of the game for Oregon Mountain. The Eagles have not hit one yet. 30-27. The Knights in the lead. Mackey in the front court. Stop and go. Gets a screen from Hall on the far sideline. Flips it up top to Acosta. Backs into his defender. Bounce pass on the right wing to Pena. Pena with the drop step move. Throws up a 3 or making an 18-footer. Hits the strap behind the backboard out of bounds. And it'll go back to Oregon Mountain. Not quite sure if he knew where he was on the floor. I think he wanted to shoot a tray, but he got his feet kind of shuffled up there. Was well inside the 3 line. Just kind of heaved it up.
Yeah, he did not know where he was at. He was just trying to outmaneuver his. It looked great, though. It was a fadeaway coming back, but, yeah, wrong position.
The inbound to the half-court line, getting bodied up as Wilson, and 2 defenders kind of converged on him that time, so one of those got the foul. That's going to go against Abraham Pena. That's his 3rd personal, so that's going to put some foul trouble for the Eagles. Pena and Turbiatis both with 3. Turbiatis not on the court right now. Oh, yes, he is on the court. They have him for 3. He's going to stay out there, too. Wilson on the line, 2 for 2. Make it 3 for 3 as he nails that one. He's got 7 points.
4-0 run for the Knights so far in this last about a minute.
11 of 13 in the ball game at the free throw line. Definitely helping out their scoring right now, even though it's not too much points. Just 31. Second off the front of the rim, no good. Ball chased down to the right corner for Oregon Mountain, though. And we got a whistle down low. The ball gets deflected out of bounds on the far sideline. It will be Oregon Mountain basketball. Ball's inbounded by Martinez. And they throw it back to the timeline, but they're going to say shuffling the feet. Martinez, who got the ball after he threw it in, got it back from Pacini, and they're saying he shuffled his feet near the timeline. And Coach Gonzalez running out on the court and protesting that with the official. That's going to be the Knights' ninth turnover.
Do the hustle.
Eagles have 7 turnovers so far. 1:05 left, second quarter. Mackey will throw it across the timeline, left wing to Vega. Vega to take on another 14 down the baseline. Gets his shot rejected, and a nice block there by Martinez. To the far sideline to Pacini. Bounce pass across the timeline to McDaniel. Throws it up top to Pacini. Dumps it to the right corner, driving baseline. They're going to say stepping out of the corner on the sideline was Mike Martinez after he caught the pass. His back foot hit the sideline. And that'll be another turnover for Oregon Mountain. Now double digits. They've turned it over 10 times. But they still lead by 4, 31-27 with 48 seconds left, second quarter. Michael Mackey with the basketball for the Eagles. He's going to go one-on-one against Martinez. Stop and go to the left elbow. Crossover move. Kick the ball. They're going to call a hold foul there on Martinez. That'll be his second. Hobbs in the double bonus. The 11-team foul against Oregon Mountain. And Mackey on the line. Made his last 4 free throws. He is 5 of 6 from the charity stripe, Ron.
And Hull's 13 points so far. He has not been quiet, and that's what we like to see about that. Plus, he's been making some great shots on the free throw line.
Another free throw, as you mentioned, put through the hole. 13 of his 14 points have been here in the second quarter. He'll get one more free throw, and looks like they get some subs on the court for the Eagles. That includes Caleb Lehman, and Devon Marquez is back as well. And Van Lanningham will come in after the second free throw. Yep, it goes through for Mackey. Mackey now with 15 points. Last 6 free throws have been through the hole here in the second quarter. Van Lanningham will check in for Mackey. 29-31, Eagles down by 2 with 38 seconds left, second quarter.
Full court press on.
Yeah, man-to-man pressure. Ball comes into Pacini. He's going to go hard, beating his defender across the timeline, Acosta. A runner shot on the way in the paint, no good. Karras tries to come down with it. He gets triple bodies on it for the Eagles on the left block. Tried to fade a little bit, got bodied into for the foul. See who's going to get the call on this one. Bunch of bodies coming at him that time for Karras. He's the type of kid that's going to squeeze in between to get the rebounds. They call the foul on Van Lanningham, his first 19th foul. Van Landingham's a guy that you kind of want to put up against this kid because they're both pretty physical.
Exactly, and Van Lanningham can definitely take it as well as dish it out.
Karras puts the free throw home. Not a guy you want to foul, though. Perfect 5 for 5 on the line. All coming in the second quarter and has 11 points, leading the Knights in scoring. Lead to 3 now, 32-29, Oregon Mountain with 27.8 left, second quarter. This thing is a barn burner so far. Second shot is switched for Karras. Karras now with 12 points. 33-29, matching the biggest lead for the Knights. 27 seconds left as the inbound comes to Mackey here in the second quarter. He'll come across the timeline against Martinez. Slowing it up as he comes across. Throws it to the left corner to Marquez. Swings it around with the bounce pass right baseline. 15-footer for Acosta off the back of the rim, no good. In the paint for the rebound is Martinez, his second. Bounce pass far sideline to Wilson. Sends it to the left corner. Wide 3 for Pacini is a swish. Second tray of the game for Pacini as he turns around the Hobbs student section. He's got 8. Half-court shot at the buzzer for Lehman. It glances off the left glass, no good. At the end of one half of play, Oregon Mountain has their biggest lead of the game, 36-29 over the Hobbs Eagles. We'll come back in 3 minutes with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Welcome back to halftime at the 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Max back at the station tonight. Your Eagles trail by 7, 36-29 to Oregon Mountain. The second time these teams have played this season, of course, back on December 16th. Eagles losing by 9, 60-51. The Oneonta Knights come in with a 9-1 record. Hobbs at 5-3. Oregon Mountain currently sitting at 5th in the Max Preps poll. Your Hobbs Eagles down at number 14. And in that second quarter, really an outscoring situation for Oregon Mountain. They got 25 points in that second quarter, and Hobbs only 18. That's the difference, 7 points.
Exactly, and it looked like at one point that Hobbs was able to get back into it. They were actually leading for a little while, and this Oregon Mountain Knights were just able to come back, answer those points, and make it a tie game for the most of the second quarter before they pulled away near the end of it. And you know what? I'm expecting to see some adjustments, maybe on both sides as well, especially with the Knights as they come out in the third quarter. They did some strong defense in the first of the game, and I was expecting to see that more with the Hobbs Eagles, but instead it was the Knights. So I'm expecting to see that as well as maybe something different, a different look for the Eagles.
Again, I think free throws really put them over the hump, did Oregon Mountain, especially Karras. When he gets in position for rebounds and you wait and you try to crash guys on him too late, he's going to get a chance for free throws. 6 for 6 in the second quarter. That all of his free throw attempts in the second and finished with 12 points. So big difference there. We knew the kid is good. He had a double-double last time they played against the Eagles as he finished with 15 points and 13 rebounds. So there's no big mystery mark there. He's definitely a guy they're going to have to close in on quicker than they did in the first half. He has 5 rebounds to lead the team as well. He's the top scorer with double digits, 12. 8 points for Aiden Pacini, who hit 2 trays in the first half. He has 1 rebound as well. Yanni Wilson had 7 points, 3 for 4 on the line and 2 boards. Brian Gonzalez, kind of a quiet night for him. He's the second leading scorer on the team with 11 points a game. Only has 5 right now, so half of his number almost. He went 2 for 2 on the line, did hit a tray as well. Emmett McDaniel, who we didn't see the last time against the Eagles, he went 2 of 4 from the line for 2 points. And Ethan Pack came off the bench for 2 points as well. 6 scorers in the books for the Knights in the first half. And this is the big difference. 13 of their points from the free throw line. 13 of 16 for 81%. Definitely with a 7-point lead, that's going to be a factor that cannot be added on again in the second half, or the Eagles will have some trouble.
Yeah, if you saw them hitting at 60% for those free throws, it'd be a different game. It'd be a 1 to 3-point game. But instead, you're right. They were hitting the 3 throws. They only missed 3 of them. And that does make a difference. Plus the fact that Hobbs on their end just could not sink every single one of them. Maybe they'll get better on the second half. Maybe they'll also stop fouling Cones and see if they can at least stop them without getting them to the line. That'd be the main thing, I would think.
And you mentioned the fouling. Abraham Payne with 3 so far. Jairus Turbiatis with 3 for the Eagles. So those 2 guys are going to be maybe sparingly used in the third quarter, although Coach Reeves kept Turbiatis on the court there late in the second quarter. I guess he wanted to see some rebounding being done and not let Karras have too much of his way in there.
Exactly. You get Van Lanningham in there. He's a disruptor. He will, at least steal the ball sometimes, as well as just make your offense work a little harder as well. They've been doing that, but the Knights so far have kept up with the motivation, and they have kept up with the scoring as well, which is unfortunate for the Hobbs Eagles. But like I said, I think there can be some adjustments in the second half. Hopefully they'll work.
Oregon Mountain leading in the rebounds, 12-9. We mentioned Karras leads with 5 individually. They've had more turnovers than the Eagles, though, 10 total. And we saw a lot of those coming late in the first quarter. Eagles really turning the screws on defensively and causing some of those turnovers at that point. On the side of your Hobbs Eagle coin now, Michael Mackey. He's in leader right now with 15 points, 14 of those coming in the second quarter. Almost perfect on the line, too. He's got a total of 8 free throw attempts, has made 7 of those. He's kind of putting the team on his back. Nobody even close to him in scoring in this game. If he gets some more guys, get some points in the hole, that's going to be a different factor.
I think also what's happened is Gonzalez, you were talking about earlier, he had to get pulled out of the game because he was getting a little emotional, and he was letting his emotions get away from him. You know what? That happens. If it does happen, then you tend to get fouled more, and pretty soon you get fouled out. So Coach was smart about that, getting him out of the game, letting him cool down a little bit, get him back in the game, and see if he can make a difference in the second half.
Of course, Mackey taking advantage of the flipping out there by Gonzalez with those double digits, 15. He leads both teams with that 15 points at this point in time. Brian Acosta with 4 points for the Eagles. And then a lot of guys with 2 apiece. Steven Marquez, Braylon Vega, Abraham Pena, Jairus Turbiatis, and Caden Hall, all each hitting a bucket apiece. That means 7 scores in the first half for the Eagles. And they were out-rebounded 12-9. Leader Chris Archibald with 3 boards. Jairus Turbiatis had 2. We did mention, too, that only they had 3 less turnovers than the Knights, with 7 compared to 10 for Oregon Mountain in the first half. Eagles free throw shooting not as good as Oregon Mountain was, 7 of 13 for 53%. Like to have some of those back and to try to get this down from a 7-point deficit. We're about a minute away from the second half action, 36-29. Oregon Mountain over the Eagles. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network from the Holiday Tournament. Back to live action here at Task Arena, 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and, of course, the radio Cool 95.7. Ty friend Ron Gunner. And, Ron, when we get a chance here, let's get the sponsors of this great tournament on the radio and the internet.
Let's go with Lee County State Bank, Hobbs Rental, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway, First American Bank, Lasco, Eunice Pump, NMR Pump, Pipeline, Rent-A-Center, and, of course, Devon Energy.
And we're back to third quarter action. Eagle basketball, trailing by 7 on the right wing is Pena. Dribbles up top of the circle and gives it off to Marquez. Drives the right side of the lane, underhands it to the right corner. Dribbling up top after the dribble, Archibald. Hands off to Pena coming down the lane. Has a man open on the left baseline. Turbiatis fires up a 10-footer and puts it through the hole. 4 points for Jairus. 36-31, Hobbs down by 5, 7.5 left third quarter. The inbound to the near side to Gonzalez, and kind of throws up an emotional headbutt up in the air as he's trying to get a foul call on the Eagles. I'm going to say they're calling on him possibly. Call that an offensive foul? I believe so.
Exactly. You know, it's amazing how sometimes you try to get that foul on and it just turns around and bites you in the butt.
Or was that a foul at all? Yeah, that's his 4th personal. I'm surprised. Yep, the subs are coming in here momentarily. Didn't get him in quick enough. His dad, Coach Gonzalez, screaming at the officials. Get close to a tee. Inbound to Marquez. Backdoor, going up strong with the finger roll. Jairus Turbiatis, back-to-back buckets. He's got 6 points, and it's down to a 3-point deficit. Gonzalez will bring it across the timeline. Boy, can Mackey get a charge here? That'd be great. Pass down to the right corner to Karras. And a big hands up in the air coming from the defender of the Eagles, Chris Archibald, and the official calls the foul. I think they're trying to quiet out Coach Gonzalez there. They call the foul on the Eagles. Looked like he had his hands straight up that time, but they called on Archibald his first. And that will be the first team foul here in the second half.
A little bit of a ticky-tacky foul, but still it quieted the coach over there on the Knight side.
Wilson inbounds to the right wing to Pacini, guarded by the Eagles' Pena. Gives it back behind him to Combs. Drives right baseline. Kick back right to Pacini. Up top, driving the lane now. Yenny Wilson over to the right wing to Pacini. Slides up top, finds Wilson at the timeline, dribbling through his legs. Crossover move against Turbiatis. Back into the lane to the free throw line. Over to the left wing to Bynum. To the free throw himself. Skids across the floor to travel. He had 2 defenders on him, Mackey and Marquez, who give themselves a low 5 after that one. That'll be an Oregon Mountain 11th turnover here in the game.
4-0 run for the Hobbs Eagles so far in this third quarter.
36-33, only 69 points on the board so far, but a close one. Mackey in the front court. Slows it up and underhands it to the right wing to Pena, to the free throw line, hand off to Marquez left side. Lost the ball as he dribbled down the lane, loose on the floor. Diving forward is Pena, but he's got some bodies on top of him in a scrum pile. The arrow's going to go to Oregon Mountain for the turnover, though, for the jump ball.
There were both sides were fighting for the ball, just could not get a handle on it. And when they did, it was finally a jump.
That was right in front of the Hobbs student section, too, so I'm sure Oregon Mountain had to hear some of the nice yelling commentary there.
Oh, of course.
Right next to the sideline. Mackey will try to block the inbound on the near side as it comes back deep on the inbound. Into the hands of Coombs. Stop and go dribble. Guarding him is Marquez. Stand with him in the backcourt. They're going to say hand check as they get the foul call on Marquez. That'll be his second team foul quickly for the Eagles. And that wasn't even across the timeline yet, so Oregon Mountain's going to have to beat that half stripe somehow in front of the Taskovich band. Bounce pass to the backcourt on the inbound, coming into Wilson. He's going to go one-on-one against Turbiatis into the front court with a crossover move. Stop and go. Crossover to his left hand. Flips it out left wing to Pacini. Drives the rack. Lefty layup. Runs over the top of his defender. And waiting for him, putting his body on the line for the Eagles, was Chris Archibek for the charge. That foul will go against Pacini, out of control. His second team foul and a turnover for the Knights. That is their 12th. Ball comes into Mackey on the near side. Going to go hard against the defender. Gets across against Coombs to the right wing. Up top to Pena. Fires up an NBA three off the back of the rim. Mackey chases it down in the right corner. Has to save it high in the air. And it's tipped right to Pena. Pena with the scoop shot coming down the right lane. Gets hit in the back as he goes up with it. Ball comes off the back of the rim. But that will put him on the line to shoot two on the foul call. Now we charge to the Knights. Brandon Karras, his third team foul. So Gonzalez, second leading scorer with 4. Brandon Karras, the first leading scorer on the team with 3 fouls. So a little bit of foul trouble for Coach Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see some of the major stars, especially with Karras. 3 fouls so far. That'll get him off the floor for at least a moment.
First attempt of the game for Pena. He makes it. He's got 3 points. Got a quiet night for him so far. He came into the contest shooting 70% from the line. Can improve on those numbers there with the free throw. He's got 3 total now on the scoreboard.
Attempted a 3 a moment ago, but has not made one yet.
Second shot here for Pena is up, and it is good. A swish. He's got 4 total. Eagles are now 9 of 15 in the free throw department, 60%. Inbound on the near sideline. It's 36-35. Hobbs by 1. A bad pass in the backcourt, taken away by Pena. Return number 13 for Oregon Mountain. Mackey on the right wing to the free throw line. The dribble finds Marquez on the left wing. Up top to Pena. Fakes a 3. Crossover to his left hand. Back to Marquez in the deep left corner. Dribbles up top to reset the O. Lost it off his foot. Gets it back on the far sideline in the retreat. Uses up the dribble. Knocked out of his hands. They're going to call the foul. Getting his wrist that time was Aiden Pacini, his 3rd personal, 4th foul, and Oregon Mountain not learning their lesson.
No, they're not. In fact, they have still remained scoreless in this 3rd quarter, and they're making mistakes that are going to bite them. And just as the game continues on, with all these fouls, they're going to get somebody else or have to have somebody else on the court to make up for those lost personnel.
6-0 run so far for the Eagles here in the 3rd, as you alluded to. 5:21 remaining. Hobbs down by 1. Inbound of the timeline to Pena. Comes around the right circle with the screen coming for the Eagles by Archibek. Comes down the lane, and he gets fouled trying to go up. He's flat on his back right now.
Yeah, that looked like a hard foul. As he was trying to go up, he ended up getting it around his ribs. And then he fell to the ground. Luckily, he's not hurt.
Must have been a pass in there because it was Pena that's the one that hit the floor, and he was not the guy that passed it down the lane. So Pena will go to the line. That will be the 5th team foul on the Knights. I'm going to see who they got that against.
That'd be his first for Ethan Pack.
In and out, no good for Pena. Now 2 for 3 from the line. So Pack, as you mentioned, picked up the foul. His first, and that is the 5th team foul. One more for Pena. He's got 4 points. Eagles down by 1. Could tie it up with the free throw. And puts it through. He's 3 for 4 from the line. 6 points for Pena. We're tied at 36. Him out of the near side to Wilson. Backcourt. Going to go against Turbiatis. Stop and go on the front side. Crossover to his right wing. Spins. Backs it out. Back deep to the timeline as it goes to the hands of Coombs. Unloads to the left wing. Stop and go. Head fake there for McDaniel. Up top with the pass to Wilson. Down the lane to the left baseline to Pack. 15-footer at the back of the rim. No good. Mackey, long rebound, his 3rd. Comes down the lane and tries to throw up a shot on the lean, and they call the block foul. Morgan Mountain besides himself, and right now holding his nose. Might be some blood coming out of that one. There's not a happy camper leaving the court. Starting to walk back towards his bench is Mike Martinez, his third personal, 16th foul. Coach Gonzalez is calling a timeout. I think he's going to chew in some zebra here. I don't know if he's going to do that or just calm his team down, but Mackey will go to the line. And we're going to have a timeout on the court for Morgan Mountain. 4:51 remaining in the third. Your Eagles by 2 over the Knights, 38-36. Mackey back to shoot some free throws in just 30 seconds. Back after a timeout on the court for Morgan Mountain. They trail the Eagles 38-36. And it's several fouls in a row for the Knights. It really cost them some problem here because the Eagles have been on this big run right now with 38 points, 9-0 here in the third quarter, and now a 2-point Eagle lead.
Exactly. You know, they've been doing it on strong defense. They've been pressing like I hope they would. They've also been making some great shots. We're just hoping that they can continue to get better on the free throw line as well, because that's what the Knights were doing. That's what was killing us, or the Hobbs Eagles anyway, was those great free throw shots that was being made by the Knights.
Yeah, they were 81% in the first half, but Michael Mackey going to try to extend the Eagles' lead here. He is 7 of 8 from the line, trying to get his first point in the third quarter. He leads the team with 15.
By the way, that was a phenomenal shot just a moment ago from Mackey.
Misses off the back of the rim, pulled down by Caden Hall on the left block. He puts it up top to Pena. Pena shot from the free throw line off the back of the rim, no good. Ball knocked around and pulled down by Wilson, his third. He's going to go one-on-one as he beats his defender across the timeline for the Eagles. Vega goes to the rack, lefty layup, misses it. Underneath the rim, pulling it down for the Eagles is Archibek, his fourth rebound. Outlet to the far sideline, bringing it across off the dribble is Pena. Underhands to Mackey, top of the circle, triple team. Pass to the left corner to Vega. Returns on the left wing is Pena. He'll just slide up top of the arc. We're actually still on the left side, now at the top of the arc. Comes down the lane, back door. Man going to the rack for the layup. That's Chris Archibek. Beautiful pass down the lane that time. That's Archibek's first bucket of the game. It's a 4-point Eagle lead, matching their biggest of the contest. 40-36, almost a steal at the half-court line. Coming across is Bynum. Bynum will slow it down on the left wing. Top of the circle off the dribble. Unloads the ball to McDaniel. Top of the arc as well. He drives the left side of the lane. They're going to call the hold foul underneath as he came down the pike that time. Clock stop at 3:49 left, third quarter. As they get the foul against the Eagles, Braylon Vega, his second. And that'll be the third team foul on Hobbs.
Yep, indeed. So it's not a shooting foul at all. In fact, yeah, the Knights still haven't scored yet in this third quarter.
Looks like Marquez has checked back in for the Eagles. Caden Hall out there. Pena, the inbound of the left block to Karras. He's been out for a while too. He puts his shoulder down and spins, and to the floor goes Caden Hall, but they call the foul first, the block, I believe, on Hall. And that will be his second 14th foul. Hall went down hard on his back that time, flat on the floor, but Karras is a tough kid. He likes to use that shoulder.
Oh, yeah, I think they like to do that, too, just to get those fouls.
Right back to Karras in the left corner on the inbound, and gets Hall to bump into him again for another foul call. Back-to-back, third on Hall, 15th foul. Getting close to the bonus situation. Karras trying to get the ref to call a shooting foul. Once again, he just kind of bodied up, so I don't know how they can get a shooting foul on that. Inbounding on the right baseline, underneath their hoop, Coombs. Pass deflected out by Marquez on the far side for the Eagles, so that means Morgan Mountain will have to shift over to that side.
And the Eagles have two bodies on Karras, which we talked about we needed to do.
Morgan Mountain will have it left corner, sideline, inbound to the left wing to Gonzalez. Up top, driving the lane, up to passes Pacini, goes back door to Karras, leans and shoots, and he's going to get a foul. Ball comes off the iron that time, but he'll get 2 free throws. Kind of just lean over the top of his defenders. And a chance for 2 free throws. They get the foul call on the Eagles. That's Acosta's third, 16 foul, 1 away from the bonus. That will be a 2-shot foul for Karras. Again, he's perfect on the line, 6 for 6, has 12 points. Haven't shot a free throw here in the second half, have the Knights 13 of 16 for 81%, and another one made there on the first one.
And that breaks the run that the Hobbs Eagles had. But still, holding the Knights to no field goals in this third quarter, that's amazing.
11-1 run we're talking about here. Karras with his second free throw is up, and it's off the front of the rim, no good. Big scrum going for it, and looks like the Hobbs Eagles might get a body foul here. Coming down with the ball was Julian Gonzalez. The Hobbs fans going to react to that one as they call the fourth on Hall. He's had 3 fouls in about a couple of minutes here. That's a 17th foul, which makes it even worse, Ron. It's a 1-on-1 bonus for the Knights.
Yeah, well, that's only if they make the first one and the second one, but yes. I think that was just a position foul. It looked like from the angle that the referee had, it looked like it wasn't a foul. I mean, it wasn't a jump ball like the other players thought it was. So they called that foul. It was 1-1, and here we go.
One of the 3 sophomores on the line, Julian Gonzalez, seen all of his time here in the second half. A high free throws up and good. First point of the ball game for him. So Julian Gonzalez gets the 1 point, and he'll get one more.
Knights down to a 2-point deficit.
He came into the game shooting 69% on the season. Perfect 1-for-1 now in this game. 40-38, Eagles by 2, pinning this second free throw. It's ricocheting around the rim, no good. Tipped up on the left glass and put through by Pacini. 10 points and 2 rebounds for him now. We're tied at 40, 3:25 remaining third quarter. Nip and tuck situation here at Task Arena. Here in the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Marquez in the front court, spins, coming down the lane, bounce pass back door. High shot off the glass with 2 hands off the left side, counted for Archibald. That's the second he's had on that side of the rim that time. 4 points for Archibald and a chance for a 3-point play.
Oh, yeah, that is exactly what Hobbs needed. They needed to answer that back, especially with the tie ball game going on. So, yeah, you get the 2 plus the 1, and you feel great about the 3 if you can make it.
So now it's Gonzalez with 4, Karras with 4, Pacini with 3, and Martinez with 3 for Oregon Mountain, and that will send Karras to the bench. Don't want to have him foul out, at least for Coach Gonzalez. And Archibald's 0 for 2 on the line, but he wants to add to his 4 points right here to extend the lead to 3 if he can get it. 42-40 Eagles. Archibald's free throw out the front of the rim, no good. Rebound on the right block, and pivoting madly now is Pack, his first board. Sends it across the timeline to McDaniel. Bounce pass to the right baseline. Losing the ball for a second was Pack. Tried to bounce in the paint, and it gets bobbled off the foot of the Morgan Mountain player underneath. That was Gonzalez, out of bounds for the turnover. That's their 19th of the ball, or make it the 14th of the ball game. Inbound to Mackey, deep left corner, cross court right to Payne. He'll bring it across the timeline with 3 minutes left, third quarter. Dribbles behind his back, throws it back door. There's Archibald again, but he gets his shot blocked. They call the foul though. Block was good, but they came down on top of him after that. Boy, they keep going with that nice thread the needle down the left side of the lane to Archibald. He just wait for passes.
Yeah, when you're underneath the basket like that, you want your defender to leave their feet so that way if you don't have a chance to make a shot, you get the free throws.
So let's see if Archibald can put down the free throw here. First one is off the front of the rim again. This was a 2-shot foul.
All right.
He'll get one more. 0 for 4 from the line, so he definitely needs to improve on that number as he came into the contest shooting 45%. Still a 2-point Eagle lead. Second shot is up, and it is good. Archibald now with 5 points, all coming here in the third. 43-40, Eagles by 3. Inbound to the left side of the 3-point arc in the backcourt to Gonzalez as he returns it back deep on the baseline to Coombs. He'll drive hard across the timeline against Mackey. Double team. Marquez gets a piece of it, but picked up for Oregon Mountain. They call the travel. Coming over to get the ball was Gonzalez, shuffled his feet, and that'll be the 15th turnover for the Knights. 3-point Eagle lead with 2:40 remaining. Hobbs wants to advance to the semifinal, the winner's bracket tomorrow at 8 o'clock. To the right wing, Pena. Backdoor, high shot at the right glass and a nice lead for Brian Acosta. The junior puts it down with 6 points now. 45-40, the Eagles have their biggest lead of the game here in the third. A spin move at the timeline for Pacini. Two Hobbs defenders follow the floor. Pass down to the left baseline. Putting his head down and going hard to the rack, getting a body foul, Ethan Pack. Hobbs fans thought he might have caused the contact with his head down that time. They call the foul on the Eagles, not being in position. They'll charge a foul to Acosta. That's his 4th personal, 18th foul. So both teams having to deal with some foul trouble here, as going to the line to shoot 2 is Pack, yet to shoot a free throw in the game. He does have 2 points.
Well, hopefully he'll miss because that was a bad foul. He was behind the rack anyway. He wasn't going to be able to make that shot no matter what he did.
This is the free throw hard off the back of the rim that time. 45-40, Hobbs still up by 5. And Coach Reed's going to go to his bench here for the Eagles. Wants to get some more rebounding power in there right now. That's Jairus Turbiatis as he comes in for Acosta, just picked up his fourth. Turbiatis with 6 points and 2 rebounds. Acosta leads with 6 points. And a second free throw attempt now for Pack. Shot is up, and it is right through the net. Count it, he's got 3 points. And a sub now for Organ Mountain on the court. That is Yanni Wilson. Comes in with 7 points. 2:17 left, third quarter, 45-40. Eagles by 5. Mackey's going to go through 4 defenders. Right side, 15-footer off the front of the rim. Ripped down by Turbiatis. Mackey will pick it up and goes up strong and is fouled. The double clutch on the right block. Turbiatis had his hands on it. I think Mackey might have kind of ripped it away from him possibly, or maybe just came off Turbiatis' hands, but he's going to get a chance for 2 free throws. So Turbiatis will get his 3rd rebound. Mackey now with 2 free throws.
Yeah, and as usual, Mackey on the floor, picking himself up again just for his excellent play.
That's the second on Gonzalez, the 19th foul. First free throw up and good for Mackey. First point in the second half, he's got 16 points and has now 8 of 10 from the line, free throw shooting for 80%. 5-point Eagle lead. They've had their biggest of the game with another free throw here to make it 6. Second shot is up, and it's good, a swish. He's got 17. 47-41, and we got a timeout on the court. 2:09 remaining, third quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles want to play in that semifinal game tomorrow night. 47-41 over Organ Mountain. We're back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. .209 left in this long-running third quarter, Ron. Your Eagles leading 47-41 over Organ Mountain here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. And, boy, I don't know, teams get leads and then teams get back in the game. But the Hobbs Eagles have been in this lead for quite a bit of this third quarter.
Exactly. They've been dominating this third quarter, even with a little bit of a Knights comeback. They have still led it. But, I'm still concerned about the fact that there's plenty of time left in this game.
18-5 has been the scoring situation for the Eagles. In the front court, driving to the top of the arc, jumping in the air to make a pass is Pacini, but ripped away by Devon Marquez for the 16th turnover. Back to Mackey at the timeline, now in the front court, dribbling through his legs to the free throw line. Kicks out left to Pena. Rainbow 3 is an air ball. Underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Eagles, though, is Archibek. That's his 5th rebound, outlet to Mackey on the right wing. Stop and go dribble. Finds Marquez top of the circle. He'll back it out with 1:35. Very patient to set up the offense for Hobbs. Coming back to get it is Pena on the near side. Top of the circle, gets bided up, and a foul call, calling it tight now. That was Emmett McDaniel for his first, and the 10th team foul. So the Eagles down the double bonus, not a smart foul.
No, it isn't. But then again, sometimes you just try to position yourself, and you end up getting a little closer to the player than you think you are. The next thing you know, you get called a foul. You just kind of hope that the ref isn't actually watching as close as you think he is or hopes he is.
5 points for Pena, 3 of 4 from the line, 75%, and he makes another there. Now 80% off that one free throw. 48-41, Eagles have their biggest lead at 7. Hobbs trying to match the series to 1-1 after losing by 9 in their previous game. Second one off the back of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Pacini, his 3rd. Outlet to the near side, stop and go for Coombs. Back deep to Pacini in the backcourt. Double team at the timeline. His pass almost stolen on the far sideline. He tried to get over to Ethan Coombs, but diving in the air was Pena to try to knock it away, in which he did. It's going to be Organ Mountain basketball, far left sideline. Inbounding will be Wilson. Gonzalez comes back in. Haven't seen him for a while for Organ Mountain. Inbounding and getting it back is Wilson on the left wing. Down by 7 with 1:14 remaining on the Mountain squad. Pass to the left corner, and Gonzalez nails a 3. That's his 2nd of the game. 8 points on the fadeaway for the coach's son.
Nice into that one.
48-44, Hobbs by 4 still. In the front court, Pena. Hand off to Mackey at the timeline. Goes around Gonzalez to the left wing. Over to Marquez for 3, an air ball left side. put back up and blocked from behind was Archibald. That was his 6th rebound. We got a foul on the rebound after that. We'll wait to see who this call is against. And it looks like Organ Mountain getting a little bit mouthy out there too. That's a 5th foul on Karras. That's why the Eagle fans are reacting. Right. Karras has just fouled out, 13 points. And I guarantee you, Coach Gonzalez is not going to be a happy camper after that.
No, but he did play rough. I mean, he played for the fullest, and that's probably one of the reasons why he got so many fouls. But you know what? On the line, he was almost perfect. He only missed, 2 of them? Or no, maybe even 1. But either way, he was the reason why that the Knights were in the lead for as long as they were.
7 of 8 from the charity stripe and 13 points, 5 rebounds. The rebound for the Eagles, though, on that previous play, Jairus Turbiatis for his 4th. Yet to shoot a free throw in this contest. And Turbiatis comes into the game at 50%, 4 of 8. They're trying to get some subs in there, but they're trying to remind everybody it's a 2-shot foul. They have to wait to the second free throw. Turbiatis with 6 points. First free throw attempt here in this game is off the back of the rim. Hobbs still by 4, and I don't think that's the type of lead you want right now. You want to try to pack it on as much as you can.
Exactly, but the plus side is the leading scorer for the Knights is not going to be on the court anytime tonight.
Averaging 16.2 a game and 8.7 rebounds. He's below his average tonight. Second free throw up and good for Turbiatis. He's got 7. 48-40 or 49-44. Hobbs by 5. Boy, this third quarter has gone on and on. 48 seconds remaining. We got double bonus and regular bonus in this third quarter. Ball gets deflected. Organ Mountain gets it back, though. Coming across the timeline off the dribble is Coombs. Ball knocked out from behind. Nice steal by Archibald. That's the 17th turnover. Up ahead to Pena. Over to left corner. Ball lost by Lehman, fumbling it around. Keeps it on the left side to Archibald. Up top to Marquez. Down the right corner to Pena. Back to Marquez, top of the arc, wasn't ready for it, fumbled it. Ball taken away to the other end. Wilson goes to the rack and lays it in on the right side. 9 points for Wilson for Organ Mountain. It's 49-46, Hobbs by 3. Down to 10 seconds left, third quarter. Pena will slow it down as he comes across the timeline. On the far sideline with 4 seconds. 3, 2, top of the arc, down the lane, a runner shot at the buzzer, hits the back of the rim, no good. But your Hobbs Eagles now have the lead as we enter the finale, the fourth quarter, 49-46 over Organ Mountain. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Back here at Task Arena, the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. Eagles up 49-46 over Organ Mountain. Let's get the points real quickly. Leaders for Organ Mountain, but he fouled out. Brandon Karras with 13, 5 rebounds, 10 for Aiden Pacini, 9 for Wilson, and Gonzalez with 8 for your Hobbs Eagles. 1 in double digits. Michael Mackey with 17. 6 apiece for Acosta and Pena. Hobbs coming down the lane. Mackey with a fade shot. It goes underneath the hoop, out of bounds. Coach Reeves wanted a foul, but not going to get it. It will be Organ Mountain basketball. And our sponsors, Ron.
I got them right here.
Let's come back to live action here.
Do that, yeah.
7:45 got you off guard. Sorry about that. 7:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Hobbs by 3. Wilson to bring it across, gives it off left wing. 3 on the way for Pacini, and nails a netter on that one. Count it. That's his 3rd tray of the ball game. He's got 13 points, and we're tied at 49.
Just like that.
Mackey will come across the timeline against Pacini. To the right wing, up top to Pena. NBA 3 on the way, it's good as well. Make that Pena gets it through the net. He's got 9 points.
First 3 of the game for Pena.
Yes, and that also is the first tray of the game for the Hobbs Eagles, too. 52-49. Hobbs by 3. Gonzalez going to drive the lane. He tucks it under his bicep, and a body foul going to be called on the Eagles. They're going to say Pena got in his way that time, wasn't set. That'll be the 4th on Pena and the 19th foul. And that'll put Gonzalez on the line. He's yet to score here in this second half. Has 8 points, 2 for 2 on the line, and a couple of trays to his name.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Lee County State Bank, Hobbs Rental, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Rumson Associates, Thriftway, First American Bank, along with Lasco, Eunice Pump, NMR Pipeline, Rent-A-Center, and Devon Energy.
Sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Hoops, and the rebound off the missed second free throw pulled down for the Eagles by Acosta. Down to the left corner, a 3 on the way for Pena off the side of the rim, no good. Chase down in the left corner again for Oregon Mountain. Rebound by Gonzalez, his second, stolen by Mackey. Mackey comes down the lane and gets somersaulted to the floor. Not sure if he was starting to shoot or not. We got some extracurricular after that. He was hit hard to the hardwood.
Yeah, he is taking it personally, I think.
As Gonzalez, I believe, is going to get the foul. Wait to see if they get the call on him. That was the 11th team foul on the Knights. They're going to call that, yes, on Gonzalez, his 3rd. Mackey will go to the line. That's after the 18th Oregon Mountain turnover in traffic. Mackey will go to the stripe. He's got 17 to lead the Eagles.
10 fouls on Oregon Mountain, so they're going to be going bonus for the rest of the quarter.
Mackey will make the free throw, made his last 3. 12 times on the line tonight, only missed 2. He's 10 of 12 from the charity stripe. 18 points for Mackey. Only guy in double figures so far for the Eagles. Second shot is up and good. He's got 19. Back to a 5-point Eagle lead, 54-49. Actually a 21-point lead, or 21 points for Mackey. Stop and go dribble on the far sideline for Pacini. Gets stripped away by Van Landingham. Down low to Marquez. Little push shot over the front of the rim and scores. That's going to be the 19th turnover. As the Hobbs Eagles now extend their lead to 7. Reese now, or Marquez with 4 points. Coming across the timeline as Wilson spins on the left wing. Up top to Gonzalez. Drives the lane, just kind of forces his arms up in the air and gets the foul call. 2 Hobbs Eagles come down on him, and that'll give him a chance for free throws.
Should be a 1-and-1. He had lost the ball before he went into that shooting motion.
Wait to see what the refs got on that one. They'll call the foul on the Eagles to Van Landingham. That's his 2nd.
No, they're giving him 2. Oh, it is the 10th foul, so that's the reason why.
10 fouls, as you mentioned, both double bonus both ways. Gonzalez makes his first free throw. He's got 9 points and is now 3 of 5 from the line for 60%. 6-point Eagle lead. Second shot for Gonzalez. Off the front of the rim, no good. Pulling it down is Van Landingham. Well, he had his elbows out, his knees bent, and a guy went sprawling for Oregon Mountain. That was Pacini, but he looked like he had perfect position that time. And they call the foul on the Eagles. I think that's going to go against Van Landingham. And boy, Hobbs fans are erupting here at Task Arena. That's the 3rd on Van Landingham. He looked like he had perfect position that time.
I believe that's the 2nd time Pacini has taken some action and hit the floor.
On the line to shoot 2, Emmett McDaniel, 2 for 4 from the line. He's got 2 points. Shot is up, and it is good. McDaniel now with 3 points. And it's 56-51 with 6:24 remaining here in the 4th. In the semifinals will be the next game for one of these teams tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
Yep, winner playing Highland, loser playing Ferris.
Second free throw, no good off the front of the rim for McDaniel. Ripped down by Mackey, his 4th board. Throws it across the timeline to Marquez. Hand behind to Pena. Drives left elbow, shot on the way from the free throw line. Off the back of the rim. Big rebound for Wilson, putting his hand up in the air. Pull it down to the left block, his 4th. Shot for the right elbow at the other end, off the back of the rim. Rebound at the free throw line. Rolls around and good on the jumper. As putting it through was McDaniel. He's got 5 points. It's a 3-point game. Hobbs by 3. 56-53 with 5:53 remaining. Mackey in the front court. Screen up top from Pena. Stop and go to the left wing. Falls to the floor, gets back up, and keeps the dribble alive. Mackey will back it out to the timeline. Screen for Van Landingham on the left wing. Goes around 2 defenders down the lane. Hippity hop. Leans over the rim and scores on the finger roll. Michael Mackey now with 23. 58-53 and a timeout on the court. Your Hobbs Eagles lead by 5. 58-53 over Oregon Mountain. Hobbs at 5-3, Oregon Mountain at 9-1. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back and forth here at Tasker Arena, the 63rd Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, listening live to Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Eagles up 58-53 by 5. What's Coach Reese telling his troops right now?
He is saying that you're looking good right there as far as defense, offense. We got the leading scorer off the floor. And you know what? Just keep your cool. Keep doing what you've been doing. And we're going to win. We're going to get this victory and move on into the tournament. We're not going to be playing Ferris. We're going to be playing Highland.
Teams were tied at 11 after one quarter. Oregon Mountain went up 36-29 at the half, so they went 25-18 in the second quarter. Hobbs Eagles scored 20 in the third, only 10 for Oregon Mountain in that quarter. So it's been a nip and tuck game so far. Now the Eagles going to play some defense. 5:30 remaining, Hobbs by 5. On the near sideline, Pacini throws it to the time stripe. Gonzalez doesn't come across, but he throws it across instead to the near side to McDaniel in the front court, tied up quickly. As diving in there was Devon Marquez and gets the jump ball, but the arrow still with Oregon Mountain. On the near sideline, they're starting to have to untangle players a lot too, getting a little bit chippy out there.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. It's getting a little more personal with them, and that should not be happening.
Pacini trying to inbound at the time stripe. They called a push-off foul on Oregon Mountain. It'll be an offensive foul. It won't be a shooting situation due to the team control. They charge the foul to Brian Gonzalez. He has just fouled out. He's the second leading scorer on this team, at least in terms of the season, averaging 11.5 a contest. He's going to leave now. Finishes with only 9 points, so he's beneath his average. And he had 3 of 6 free throw shooting and a couple of trays. 58-53, Eagles in the front court. Marquez left wing. Underhands it to Mackey. Down the lane, left side, leads and shoots. Is fouled. Count the basket. Knocked to the floor on his back, and he still puts it over the rim for 2. Acrobatic play, kind of a sidewinder that time. And that's going to be a foul on Julian Gonzalez, his 4th team foul. And Michael Mackey, 25 points on the scoreboard.
Taking it to the rim hard. Michael Mackey was second time, maybe even the third time in this game where he's done that and drawn the foul as well.
Free throws up and good right through the net for Mackey. That's something you alluded to in the pregame show. I mean, if you're going to get free throws, you got to put them through, and Hobbs is definitely starting to do that in the second half. Sweeping through traffic is McDaniel. Hobbs up by 8. That's their biggest lead of the contest. Throws the long one down to the left wing to Bynum. Back to McDaniel. Shot from the left elbow. Zinging around the rim and stays in. So McDaniel now with 7 points. 6-point Eagle lead, 61-55, 4:48 remaining. Boy, this long third quarter we had previous to this has really made this game last. Mackey comes down the lane, does a little slip and slide, and they're going to get the travel on that one.
Yeah.
Or did they call the foul? No, it's the travel.
Yeah.
Mackey kind of slid from the free throw line to halfway down the lane. Thought he might have got pushed, but they called the travel instead. That's only the 9th turnover for the Eagles and 19 for Oregon Mountain.
Tried to hit the brakes and instead just slid.
On the near sideline, the pass coming in to McDaniel. Down to the left wing to Bynum. Drives the baseline. Shot from the left block off the front of the rim. No good. Put back up with a hook shot in the middle of the paint. And it doesn't go in, but they get the foul as Julian Gonzalez picking up his 3rd rebound. Chance for 2 free throws here. It's double bonus both ways. The foul call on Van Landingham, his 4th. 12 fouls for Hobbs, 12 for Oregon Mountain. And on the line will be Gonzalez, who is 1 for 2 on the line with just 1 point.
Which is good to have for the Hobbs Eagles.
Shot is in and out for Gonzalez. Coach Reese going to his bench, bringing back Brian Acosta, who's got 6 points and a board as he comes in for Chris Archibek. Archibek really ripping some boards down in this game with 6 total so far.
Making his presence known. You're right about that.
And 5 points. Gonzalez down the line. Second shot is a swish. He's got 2 total now, and it's a 5-point game. Timeout on the court. Looks like Coach Gonzalez and the Oregon Mountain squad want to talk about it. We're going to keep it right here at Tasker Arena and just kind of running down the games from earlier today, Ron. On the boys' side, big upset to start off the morning. Artesia defeats Cleveland 62-57. They'll be in the semifinals as they'll play Spring Valley, who picked off Farmington 67-61. So Artesia and Spring Valley tomorrow at 4:45. We already mentioned Highland getting the win over Ferris 72-52, a 20-point win. So Hobbs will play Highland if they can get the win here against Oregon Mountain. That'll be tomorrow night at 8:15. We'll have the pregame around 8 o'clock.
I find it strange that Artesia did so poorly in their own tournament. Now they're doing pretty well. Farmington did great over there. Now they're doing kind of poorly too.
Well, Artesia, their tournament, had just won the football championship. About 4 or 5 of their players were coming to basketball. I think that had a lot to do with it. Girls side, your Hobbs Lady Eagles won 71-3 tonight as they picked off Parkland from El Paso. So they're in the semis against Organ Mountain tomorrow night at 6:30. So lots of action coming up tomorrow. 4:20 left in the game after the timeout. Eagle basketball. Mackey at the timeline. In the front court, comes around the left side of the circle, hands off to Marquez. Dribbles it off his ankle, but picked up by Pena, top of the arc. Crossover move down the lane. Fade away from the left block, no good. Rebound on transition by Pacini, his 4th. Sends it ahead to Wilson on the left wing. Uses up his dribble. Back deep up top to Gonzalez. To the right side, in the hands of McDaniel. Drives baseline, goes to the rack, misses the layup. Tipped up by Gonzalez, no good. Back to Wilson, who fires up a 3 and is shoved backward by Marquez. They call the foul. It should be a 3-shot foul, too. So that will be possibly 3 free throws for Wilson. That's his 5th rebound as well.
You know, we were talking about in the second quarter, it was all about free throws, and that was what the Knights were doing. That's the reason why they had the lead. Third quarter, that was all about Hobbs. And now we're talking about back and forth, and you're going to see who's going to, since we're in the double bonus, see who's going to get it as that one is dropped and drained.
Wilson gets the free throw, has 10 points. He is 4 of 5 from the charity stripe, and he nails another one, 11 points. That was a 3-point shot, so he's getting a 3rd here. Marquez will take a seat, Van Lattingham as well. Back on the court for the Eagles, Braylon Vega.
Could make it a 2-point differential for the Knights.
Also coming on, Brian Acosta, 61-58, and now make it 61-59. Both free throws good for Wilson. He's got 12. 2-point ball game, 3:45 remaining. It's anybody's contest here at Tasker. Mackey with the dribble across the timeline, guarded by Pacini. Comes right hand off to Pena around the left circle. Hands it off to Vega, left to right. Hand off to Mackey, top of the circle. Flips it back to Pena, drives the lane. Shot from the free throw line off the front of the rim. And pulling it down for Organ Mountain was Emmett McDaniel. Goes back door with a pass to Wilson. Almost dunked that one. Kind of threw his hands over the left rim and puts it through. He's got 14. We're tied at 61. In the front court, Payne after a pass, jump stop on the right wing, and Coach Reeves wants to call the timeout. We are tied at 61. 3:15 remaining in the 4th. Who wants to play Highland tomorrow? We'll find out here next. Come back in 30 seconds. Back to live action here at Tasker Arena. We're tied at 61, opening round of the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. 3:15 remaining. And no wonder this game is lasting longer and longer as we go along. There's been 63 free throw attempts in this ball game, Ron.
Yeah, it's been slowing down because of that. Plus, we're in double bonus, so yeah, that's definitely going to slow the game down. Plus, you know, with 3:15, we're going to see a lot of fouls, a lot of free throws.
61 all your score, and it's Hobbs basketball in their front court. Marquez on the left baseline, having trouble getting it in. Finally does to Pena, but throws it in front of him, and it gets fumbled out to the baseline for the turnover. That's the 10th of the game for the Eagles. 3:14 remaining. We're tied at 61. Eagles going to want some trap pressure here, a 1-3-1. Now they're going man-to-man, it looks like a little bit. Coming across the timeline after the pass, Bynum. To the right baseline, he unloads it. Gonzalez, fadeaway, 15 is right through the net. Gonzalez now with 4 points. 63-61 your score. Hobbs down by 2. Mackey coming across the timeline. In fact, I don't think they've trailed here in the fourth quarter. Mackey on the right wing, stop and go. We got a legal screen, a forearm block called against the Eagles there. That'll be charged to Vega, his third. That is an offensive team foul, so it's not a shooting situation. But it is going to go as a turnover as well. That's the 11th for the Eagles. They want to start unraveling now. Inbound to the backcourt to Biden with a 2-point lead. Beats Mackey across the timeline, dribbles behind his back. Back deep to Gonzalez, returns to Bynum. On the right wing, again to Gonzalez at the timeline to Wilson on the left wing. Stop and go, he'll back it out. Guarded by Pena, who steps out on him now. All the way to the timeline with the one-hander to Gonzalez. He throws a bad pass. Wilson started cutting, and he threw it behind Wilson to the scores table on the far sideline. So Oregon Mountain now with their 20th turnover, but they still lead by 2.
Yeah, didn't indicate he was going to pass it over to the left, and his teammate was already starting to run forward.
Mackey will bring it across the timeline with 2:25 remaining, down by 2, 63-61. To the right wing, spins, double team, crossover move, lost the ball on the floor, picked up on the right corner by Vega to save the turnover. And we got possibly a reach foul called on Oregon Mountain. That's Gonzalez. I think that's his 5th personal. Yep, he's out too. Yep. So they have had a couple of guys, third one now, fouling out. Gonzalez, who hit that big bucket just seconds ago, leaves the game with 4 points and 3 rebounds. They fouled out Karras, their top scorer of the season, Brad Gonzalez, their second leading scorer, and now Gonzalez.
But they lead by 2 with 2:14 left in this game. It's amazing, but yeah, we can get this game back. All we have to do is just hit those free throws.
Vega 0 for 2 on the line. Hobbs has attempted 30 free throws in this ball game. Vega's first shot is up, hard off the back of the rim, bounces a couple of times, it comes off, no good. So Vega having some issues on the line in this one. Still a 2-point night lead, 2:14 remaining. Van Laningham's running to the scores tab. We have to wait, hopefully, for the second free throw to go in. Second shot is up, bounce around the rim and good. So Vega gets 1 of 2. He has 3 points. That's a 1-point ball game, 63-62. Van Laningham on the court now. Correction, no, that is Archibald. On the baseline, the inbound is Pacini in their backcourt for Oregon Mountain. Gets it into Wilson, right corner, guarded by Pena. 2:10 remaining. Stop and go. Back it into Pena, throws it across the timeline, left wing to Pacini, drives the lane. Kicks it down right corner to Biden for 3, in and out, no good. Ripped down to the left block by Pacini, his 5th rebound. And sends it back to Wilson at the timeline with 1:55. Bounce pass to the right wing to Bynum. Returns up top to Wilson. Bounce into the far left wing to McDaniel. Handoff up top to Bynum, and a timeout for Coach Gonzalez and Oregon Mountain. We'll keep it right here. 1:46 left here in the 4th. Oregon Mountain leads 63-62. And Hobbs just needs to grab one of those rebounds and try to secure it because they only trail by 1. But you don't want to keep giving them outside shots like that. Sooner or later, if it's wide open, they're going to put one through.
Yeah, you want to be in your front court. You want to be in your back court where you have to defend all the time. I know it's not going to be all the time where Hobbs has got the ball in the front court. However, you want to at least get some steals, get the ball returned, and get some fast breaks as well, and get those points, plus those free throws on the fouls. Yeah, you might be able to get a couple more people out as well. So, you limit their personnel, and before you know it, you got a victory and the game is over.
Just a reminder, the number 5 seed, Oregon Mountain, in the Max Preps poll, and the Eagles at number 14. So they dropped a few slots out of the top 10. Oregon Mountain's only loss this season to Volcano Vista, who is perfect 11-0 on the season. They were undefeated last year, too, the state champs. So that's a pretty impressive resume. But, of course, the Hobbs Eagles coming into this one, been leading quite a bit of this second half and have a chance to try to get the W out of this victory, out of this game, and even up the series at 1-1.
And the head-to-head also is 15-8, going back to 1999. And, we could get it to 16-8. We'd be double as far as wins over losses. That'd be great as well. It'd also be great to just win another holiday tournament.
Yeah, Hobbs won the first 7 games of the series back to 1999. 7 wins, no losses up till that point. 1:43 remaining. It's Oregon Mountain basketball. Dribbling across the timeline is Wilson. Shot from the free throw line is a swish. So Wilson has 7 points here in the 4th, 16 overall. It's a 3-point night lead. Here comes Mackey with the basketball off the dribble. To the left side of the lane, 1-2 and up with a shot off the back of the rim, no good. Ripped down high by Pacini, his 6th rebound. Bodies are flying on the floor here. And Pacini takes a dive. I think he's going to be the one to shoot the double bonus. Foul on the Eagles. Coach Reeves out there kicked the ball back to the ref. And that's going to be the 5th for the Eagles, Ethan Van Landingham. Doesn't score in this game, but does have 1 rebound. But again, he's always putting his body out there for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Looks like he goes and gets shakes the hand of Coach Gonzalez at the other end. And coming in for him will be Braylon Vega.
Yeah, he has tough tenacity as well as good sportsmanship.
I really can't believe he's out on the court tonight after we saw him go down with the ankle injury. I know he's tough, but still, I mean, he's battling the collarbone issue and then also the ankle. I guess they said it was a low ankle sprain versus a high ankle sprain,
right,
which is a little bit better, I guess. But first free throw is off the back of the rim for Pacini.
I'm not saying I'm like him, but I did have a low ankle sprain for a while, and I was able to get through it. I had a feeling he would do the same thing, and he has been.
That was the first free throw attempt for Pacini. Missed the first and the second both, but did pull down at the free throw line of the rebound by McDaniel with 1:17. McDaniel tries to go back down the lane and is fouled, gets flopped to the floor. He didn't play against the Eagles on the 16th for some reason. Doesn't have any stats in the book until tonight. And that'll be a foul called on Devon Marquez, his 4th personal, 15 team foul. And now it's McDaniel. Ricocheting around the rim and good. He gets his first.
Yep, 1 of 3 so far in this series right now.
McDaniel 4 of 7 on the charity stripe tonight. He's got 8 points. It's a shame one of these teams would have to drop to the consolation bracket. Now we got a lane violation on the Eagles, but the free throw good anyway by McDaniel. It's now 67-62. 9 points for McDaniel. Coming across the timeline is Mackey to the right wing. He gets held on to. Looks like Pacini gets a piece of the jersey there of Mackey. That's going to be his 4th personal.
Yep.
That's going to be the 13th team foul on the Knights, and Mackey on the line. Boys built about 30 houses on the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, but we're going to need to start to get some stops. There's a little over 70 seconds left. No, actually, there is just 70 seconds left on the clock, and we need some stops and get more rebounds as far as getting the shots in for the Eagles.
First free throw is a brick off the front of the rim. Mackey does have 26 points in this game. He was perfect on the line here in the 4th quarter, 3 for 3 before that free throw, but he gets 1 more here. Second shot is up, and it's a swish. Got it. 27 for Mackey, and a 4-point Organ Mountain lead. Inbound coming into McDaniel. Throws it back deep to Pacini. Back to McDaniel, still in the backcourt. Throws it across the timeline to the far sideline to Coombs. Coombs at the scorer's table with 59 seconds remaining, up by 4. To the right wing. Bounce pass behind his back to Bynum. Bynum's just going to drill around the back, the mid-stripe. Goes to the rack at the last second and lays it on the right glass. Bynum with his first bucket of the ball game. 6-point lead. Coming across the timeline. And boy, not a smart foul. Bodying into Pena on the far side wing is McDaniel.
Or maybe it was, because that just limits him to 2, even though it does stop the clock.
McDaniel with his 2nd personal, 14 team foul, and puts Pena on the line. He is 4 of 6 on the charity stripe with 9 points, so you can go to double digits with at least 1 free throw. Taking about 5 dribbles now. Shot is up, and it is good, a swish. 10 points for Abraham Pena. Back on the court, been sitting out for a while. Caden Hall, he had 4 fouls, but boy, it's been a long time since we've seen him out there battling up.
Yeah, do you shoot for the free throw, or do you shoot for the rebound?
It's still a 5-point deficit. I think they're going to get that press going here pretty quickly. Second shot rolls around the rim and good for Pena. He's got 11. 4-point lead for Oñate, making Organ Mountain. Inbound comes to the right corner to Bynum. Drives up the near sideline and a timeout at the other end. Coach Gonzalez wants to talk some strategy here to see how they can keep that clock rolling. 38.6 remaining in the 4th. Hobbs trails Organ Mountain 69-65. Just a reminder about the schedule tomorrow. Artesia takes on Spring Valley. That'll be 4:45 here at Task Arena on the boys' side. Highland has already made it to the semifinals. They'll be at the, well, they're going to have to shift the schedule depending on what happens with Hobbs here, so I'll kind of hold off on those times right now. We're not quite sure when that semifinal will be played. If Hobbs wins this game, they will play at 8:15 tomorrow night, just like they did tonight.
Or if not, it'd be about 1:15 in the afternoon.
Cleveland and Farmington will play in the consolation bracket. I'm not going to give times on these. I think you're going to have to revamp all of this. Ferris High School will take on the loser of this game tomorrow as well. On the women's or girls' side, Ironwood is in the winner's bracket. They'll take on Laredo, Texas. That's on the other side of the Hobbs bracket. Oregon Mountain's a team the Hobbs Lady Eagles will play tomorrow night at 6:30. Now we'll have the pregame show starting at 6:20 on the internet, hobbsamerica.com and YouTube. And of course the boys game at 8:15 will be on the radio as well at Cool 95.7. 38 seconds left here in the fourth. The inbound to the middle of the paint. Pivoting with the ball is Coombs, returns it near sideline to Pacini. He'll bring it across the time stripe with 30 seconds. Spin move, double team with Marquez and Hall. They call the check foul on Marquez. And that for him will be his 5th personal, I believe. Let's see if they got that on the scoreboard here. Was the 16th team foul. Yep, he is fouled out of the game. So Devon Marquez with 4 points in the contest. He's the only guy that, no, he's the second guy that's fouled out. Ethan Van Landingham earlier here in the fourth quarter. Back on the court for the Eagles on the sub, Brian Acosta. And on the line to shoot will be Aiden Pacini. He is 0 for 2 here in the fourth quarter on the line. 13 points and swishes the free throw. Does have 3 3-pointers though. So definitely doing a good job of shooting from the outside. So 5 3-pointers have been converted for Oregon Mountain. I don't think, did we get one in this game for the Eagles? I don't think we did. Pacini makes his second free throw, has 15 points. It's now 71-65, a 6-point lead for Oregon Mountain. Payne in the front court, spins, gives it off to Mackey. They're going to say he drug the pivot foot, so travel on Mackey. That's the 12th turnover for the Eagles. Yeah, looking at the stats again, there is no 3-pointers converted by the Eagles in this game.
No, they had one.
Trying to find it on here. Who was it?
Pena.
Yep, you're right. Here in the fourth quarter. He's got 11 points because of that. 71-65. Spinning, getting across the timeline is Bynum. Lost the ball in the lane. Taken away by Pena. That'll be the 21st turnover for Oregon Mountain. A shot for 3 at the top of the arc. Off the back of the rim. Hall is going to come down with it. Actually ripping it away from him was Chris Archibald. That'll be his 7th rebound. And he gets fouled going back up. It'll be a double bonus regardless. As they get the foul call against Emmett McDaniel, his 3rd, and that is the 15th team foul. Still a double bonus. 2 shots here for the Eagles with 5.7 remaining here in the fourth. First shot is up, and it's rolling around the rim and out. No good for Archibald. He's 1 of 6 on the charity stripe tonight. Still sitting at 5 points. He'll get 1 more here. Still down by 6 are the Eagles. Shot is up, and it's reverse spin, not going to help out on that, but a rebound by Hall in the middle of the paint, his 3rd. Kicks up top to Pena, who nails a 3, but the clock's going to run out here to finish the ball game. 71-68, the Hobbs Eagles lose a heartbreaker by 3. They drop to 5-4 on the season, and Oregon Mountain improves to 10-1. We'll come back in 3 minutes. The Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, hobbsamerica.com, and YouTube. Welcome back to Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles losing a close one to Oregon Mountain tonight, 71-68, the first round of the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. And that means Oregon Mountain will move on to the semifinals. Will take on Highland tomorrow. And the Hobbs Eagles will move on to the consolation bracket as they have their matchup, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Let's take a look at the point production. First of all, for Oregon Mountain, they had 3 in double figures in this game, although quite a few of their players fouled out. Yaneen Wilson stayed in the game for the duration. He had 16 points and definitely doing a job on the line, 6 of 7 from the charity stripe and 5 rebounds. I think he's one of the critical key factors to get them the victory in this one.
It was because, we were talking about in the third quarter how it kind of turned the tables for Hobbs, the Eagles, as far as the point production as well as their free throws. Fourth quarter, it just seemed to like reverse. They went right back to the Oregon Mountain Knights. They were doing better as far as getting some more good shots in. Of course, they weren't doing great on the line, but they were doing a lot better than the Hobbs Eagles were as far as free throws. So, yeah, all those combined, and it seemed like a perfect storm for a while for the Hobbs Eagles. But, again, like I said, too much time, fourth quarter, just enough mistakes for the Hobbs Eagles to come up short on this one. If they had that three-pointer a little sooner than they needed it, maybe this would have been a different ballgame. But unfortunately, it hit when it did, and time ran out. So
Wilson was 16. Aiden Pacini ended up with 15 points. He had 3 3-pointers, 5 total trays for Oregon Mountain in this ballgame. And the final double-digit score was Brandon Karras. Actually, Pacini had 6 rebounds. Let me add that as well. Brandon Karras, who fouled out, had 13 points and 5 rebounds. And almost got perfect on the line, too. 7 of 8 from the charity stripe before fouling out in the fourth quarter. Brian Gonzalez, 1 point away from double digits. He fouled out of the game in the fourth quarter. He finished with 9 points. He was 3 of 4 from the line and had 2 of the 5 trays for Oregon Mountain. It was 9 points for Emmett McDaniel, who did not play against the Eagles the last time they met in December 16th. Quite a few free throws for that kid as well. He was 5 of 8 from the charity stripe, finished with 9 points. Myron Bynum only had 2 in this contest. Julian Gonzalez with 4 points, was 2 of 4 from the line. Ethan Pack finished 1 of 2 from the charity stripe and 3 points. 8 scores for Oregon Mountain in this ball game. They were 26 of 39 from the charity stripe, 39 free throws, 66% from the line. That was about 9% better than what the Eagles had in the game. 5 3-pointers compared to 1 for Hobbs. They did out-rebound the Eagles 26 to 21 in this game. 6 for Pacini, 5 apiece for Karras and Wilson. And kind of an ironic situation here. I mean, you'd see this game with the victory for Oregon Mountain, but they had 21 turnovers compared to just 12 for the Eagles. So Hobbs doing a good job of taking care of the basketball pretty much throughout the second half until the late ball game. Yeah, there was a lot of facets that they have improved since the beginning, especially since the beginning of the season. They are starting to click and work together. They're understanding the way they think, and they anticipate each other's ways. So they're able to do some things that they were not doing at the beginning of the season. However, it's still one of those situations where you kind of want to close the deal. If you're having trouble closing a deal, you have really a lot of trouble winning the game. So once they learn how to finish the situation, get the sell through, and of course make that big gain, then they can get those victories and start improving as they do that as well. Now looking at the Hobbs Eagles side of the coin here as they get their total of 68 points on the scoreboard. 2 in double figures in this game. Michael Mackey with 27 points, had 4 rebounds, and was 13 of 16 from the charity stripe. And even mentioning this in games previous, when Mackey gets in the lane and draws the attention and gets a good shot off, he's going to probably get a foul once in a while, and it happened a lot tonight. I know, and especially a couple of those really great acrobatic plays we weren't even able to even talk about to the extent of how great they were because, of course, with the Hobbs Eagles, it's always go, go, go. And even with these Knights, too, it's the same thing. They're never slowing us down. They're always wanting to get the ball and try to get it across the court and into the hoop. But, there were some great shots, and he did hit the floor, as we've always talked about with Michael Mackey, and he just gives up his body just like most of the other players do as well. So 27 for Mackey, the leading scorer. Abraham Pena kind of had a slow game, but got a couple of trays in the fourth quarter. So 2 trays in the game, and that was the total for the Eagles as well from the 3-point range. Finished with 14 points. he also had quite a few free throw opportunities, 6 of 8 from the line. So Michael Mackey and Pena combining for 41 of the Hobbs Eagles' 68 points in this game. A little bit of a drop-off after that. Brian Acosta, 6 points coming off the bench for the Eagles, 1 rebound for him. Chris Archibek with 5 points. Had a total of 7 rebounds and doing a great job of going backdoor on several passes in this game, too, laying it off the left side of the glass there. Free throws were kind of an issue, though, tonight. He was 1 of 7 from the charity stripe. Jairus Turbiatis finished with 7 points, 1 of 2 from the line, and had 4 rebounds for the Eagles. Braylon Vega coming off the bench for 3 points. He was 1 of 4 from the charity stripe and a rebound. Devon Marquez finished with 4 points on 2 buckets. And Caden Hall coming off the bench for 2 points and 3 rebounds. The Eagles having 8 scores in the books in this one. They were out-rebounded, as we mentioned before, 26-21. Archibek leading with 7, 4 apiece for Michael Mackey and Jairus Turbiatis, 3 for Caden Hall. Again, Eagles with 9 less turnovers than Orchid Mountain, 21-19. And the Eagles are 21-12, I should say. And the free throw situation for Hobbs, 22 of 38 for 57%. So a little bit over half, though, but I'd like to have some more of those free throws to get this game evened up. Although Hobbs loses this one 71-68. Eagles drop to 5-4 on the season, and Orchid Mountain improves to 10-1. A game tomorrow for the Eagles, again, another 8:15 start time, as they will take on Ferris High School, and that'll be right back here at Tasker Arena. And of course, the Eagles, I mean, it's kind of a downfall a little bit in terms of their emotions have to go and play in the consolation round. But this was a hard-fought battle. I mean, very athletic contest, nip and tuck all the way. I mean, you can't hold your head down after this game.
I mean, they held some great players on the night side to below their average. Plus, they did get above their average with 68 points. They got past that 54.8. They've been having some struggles trying to get any points at all, trying to get them, of course, with victories and everything. But 54.8 is their season right now. They got 68 points. That is a good sign. Yes, again, they didn't win. I know a moral victory is pretty much worthless, but still, you got to get you got to have your victories where you can.
So yeah, pretty exciting game to watch. Again, it went long third quarter, double bonus, both teams getting in for quite a bit of the last part of the game. So definitely kind of kept it people on the edge of their seats to finish up this one. 71-68, the final once again. Quickly on the schedule tomorrow for broadcast at least. Hobbs Lady Eagles have the 6:30 game in the semifinals against Orchid Mountain, a team that beat Highland earlier today. The Lady Eagles defeated Parkland from El Paso 71-3. Did not allow 1 basket in that game. You definitely have to check the record books on that one to see how the Lady Eagles fare in terms of that record. But regardless, they will play against Orchid Mountain tomorrow, 6:30. We'll have the pregame show around 6:20 on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Hobbs boys will be right after that, probably around 8 o'clock in terms of the pregame show. They'll take on Ferris High School tomorrow as well. So those are the 2 games we'll be broadcasting for you. Artesia takes on Spring Valley in boys action. Also, it'll be Highland taking on Orchid Mountain for the boys on the semifinal side. Cleveland and Farmington go at it in the consolation. Of course, we mentioned Ferris and the Hobbs Eagles. Girls side on the winner's side bracket, Ironwood will take on Laredo for the earlier game. And then, of course, Orchid Mountain against the Hobbs Lady Eagles. So we'll have all the action for you. Again, the girls, again, 6:20, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. Hobbs Boys, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. Ron, final thoughts about this first game for the Hobbs Boys?
It was a good game, and, I don't know exactly what caused the problem as far as Oregon Mountain not being here for 20 years, but they came back, and, boy, howdy, they made their statement on it. So hopefully the Hobbs Eagles will be able to bounce back, get at least, third place or something, and make this at least a good tournament for them, regardless of the fact that they won't be playing the championship. They were the defending champions, and they won't be doing that again next year.
Final score, 71-68. Like to thank Max back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Fred. Again, we'll see you tomorrow night with Hobbs Lady Eagle Hoops at 6:20 and your Hobbs Boys at 8 o'clock. Have a great rest of a night out there.